everybody, and welcome to Friday night at Mercer Stadium in Sugar Land, Texas. This is Vype, FortBend.com. We are your broadcast home for Fort Bend County High School sports. And tonight we have the Elkins Knights taking on the Austin Bulldogs in what seems like a playoff game in September, because the loser of this game is probably going to have to think about just finishing with a strong record. But I don't know that playoffs, certainly would be a very, very difficult way to find a path to the playoffs for the team that loses this game tonight. Elkins coming off a loss in their only District 26A game. That was last week against Clements when they were up 21-0 and ended up losing by a score of 26-21. And the Austin Bulldogs, after winning their first two non-district games, are 0-2 in District 26A play. So there's plenty of desperation to go around, but that makes for exciting football. And the staffs and the players of these two respective teams are going to have to go all out to try and pull their playoff hopes out of the fire. Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick with you from Mercer Stadium, and Patrick will be bringing you the play-by-play. We want to thank the folks at Rudy's Barbecue for bringing wonderful food to the press box. And I so deeply regret having eaten before I got here, but maybe I'll still manage to stuff down a barbecue beef sandwich. This exclusive Vype FortBend.com presentation of Fort Bend County High School football is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity Mobile, the best-kept secret in wireless. By First Tire and Auto, 4 great Fort Bend County locations where you get the best prices on tires and anything your vehicle needs to run at its very best. Visit firsttireandauto.com. By Next Level Urgent Care, more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Longmeadow, Greatwood, and 4 locations in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. By Archer Volkswagen, open since 1956 and ready to serve you. Archer Volkswagen is on Highway 59 South, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. You will feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. By Needville Insurance Agency. Put hundreds, if not thousands of dollars back in your pocket each year. When the Needville Insurance Agency team shops all those insurance carriers for you, they'll find the lowest rate for car, home, and flood insurance. Call Bradley Stavanaugh at 979-793-7411 or click needvilleinsurance.com. And our Countdown to Kickoff show is brought to you by Equitable Advisors. It's never too early or too late to get with Nick Arevalo and Equitable Advisors, because they can create a smooth, soft landing into a wonderfully comfortable retirement. Check out Equitable Advisors. We'll be back with a visit from at least one head coach. We are, as we used to say in the TV business, efforting getting both of them. But Dennis Brantley, the coach of the visiting Elkins Knights, will join us when we bring you the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. Roger Smith, Patrick Kinnick from Mercer Stadium on VypeFortBend.com, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately, like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity Gateway.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Equitable Advisors, financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. At Equitable Advisors, they work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA SIPC. Welcome everybody to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. It's the Elkins Knights on a Friday night. Their second district game taking on the Austin Bulldogs. And Dennis Brantley is here. He's been prepping his Knights to, I'm sure they've been anxious to get back on the horse after the game against Clements. What was the main message you and your staff wanted to deliver to them as they prep for this one?
Finish the game. You know, we started out really well and didn't finish the game. So that's all we worked on this past week of practice, just finish the game. You know, starting strong and finishing strong.
I know that, you know, sometimes they're cliches and maybe they're convenient, but do you think maybe your team got too confident when they were up 21-0 and they did so many good things to build that lead?
That's some of what happened. I don't really think it was, but you know, with high school kids, you never know. I think it was just more of us just not paying attention to detail, and it cost us.
And one thing I think I've seen it at every level of football. It's not just a teenagers thing. I've seen teams in the NFL that just seemed like maybe they get a little bit overconfident and they're not as prepared as they should be. So it certainly happens. Not that your team wasn't prepared, but when you get ahead like that, it's easy to relax. So who are some of the players that you're really pleased with, maybe even doing more for your team thus far than you thought they would when you were looking at them in the August workouts?
Number 7, Jackson Hart. He's doing a great job for us. Number 7, Jackson Hart. He's probably our top wide receiver in the district. I'm really pleased what he's doing. Our offensive lineman Owens, Armand Owens, doing a great job being consistent every week. But those two off the top of my head.
I would say Jackson Hart is about as versatile a player as there is in Fort Bend ISD.
Yes.
And what kind of role do you think the kicking game might play in this game? Because I've seen Austin's kicker, but I've seen yours as well. Who do you think might have the edge in the kicking game? And I won't tell Coach Arrow what you said.
I think we do. You know, we have a really good kicker. Has not missed a field goal. Has not missed an extra point. So. The punt is very good, so I think we have the edge in that area.
All right, well, it's good to talk to you, and we know that whoever wins this game is still going to be very much in contention for a playoff spot. Oh, there was one other question I did want to ask you. I know nobody who's a coach in District 26A has control over when your open week comes and things like that, and yours came right at the front end of the district schedule. Was that the worst possible situation to maybe have an open week while everyone else was playing a district game?
Yeah, you know, again, we don't make excuses here, but if I had to pick, I would like probably more like week 6 or 7, you know, where you really do need it. Sometime just taking a week off kind of take away your momentum and just getting used to hitting somebody every week.
I understand, and it was never that way until we had a 9-team district. Hightower moves back up, and there you are. And by the way, I'm really looking forward to the renewal of some rivalries that were missing while Hightower was gone. So it'll be Elkins and Hightower, as well as we've already seen Ridge Point and Hightower. Those are good things. Thanks for being with us, Coach Brantley.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be back with Coach Mike Arobonlo if we can find him here at Mercer Stadium. The sun is starting to go down a little bit sooner every day. Pretty soon we'll be playing under the lights from the very beginning of these ball games. This is the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick with you on VypeFortBend.com. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Ever take your hands off the wheel and your auto starts veering left or right? That's your vehicle's way of saying, hey, I'm out of alignment and you're ruining the tires. First Tire and Automotive, 4 convenient locations, make sure you won't be driving crooked in the carpool lanes. Take advantage of free standard alignment with purchase of 4 tires and 15% on AC Delco batteries. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. At Equitable Advisors, they work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA SIPC. All right, welcome back to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, and a special treat, or maybe we shouldn't call it a treat for them, Patrick. We did not get a chance to talk to Mike Arobonlo, head coach of the Austin Bulldogs, so Patrick and I will give you our expert analysis, with in air quotes there.
Yes, you
expert
are
analysis.
using that word expert kind of freely there.
You know what's amazing to me? It seems like we say this at various times of the football season, but we get so deep into the football season so quickly. This is week 5. This is week 5.
Yeah,
now, Austin won its first 2 pre-district games, and the Bulldogs were feeling very good about themselves, and now they've lost their first 2 district games. So this is really a must-win game for them. For the Elkins Knights, they were open the first week of district games, as it's a 9-team district now with Hightower being added, and they lost that game last week against Clements, and so it's pretty much a must-win game for the Knights as well. What do you think about the psychology of it being September and you're playing effectively a must-win game?
That is interesting psychology. First of all, it's hard to believe we could kind of say we're in the halfway part of the season. We're in the middle of the season, so to speak, and I think for Elkins, I'm sure that that was a hard pill to swallow after being up 21-0 last week and then losing 26-21. They just couldn't quite keep the offensive momentum going that night, and so I'm sure they have a lot of a lot of incentive to get back and right the ship, so to speak. And of course, the Bulldogs, what can you say? They've lost their first 2 after winning the first 2 non-district games, and you got to say they're extremely hungry to get back on the winning track, and so I think that makes for a real exciting night of football here at Mercer.
Well, when we think about philosophies that lead to success in life, Of course, the first source that you're going to go to is the Bible. But beyond that, I also listen to the philosophy and movie lines from some of my favorite sports movies, including Rocky 2. I remember when Mickey was training Rocky for the second fight against Apollo Creed, and I can't even remember what he was showing Rocky what to do in his training, but he said, "It'll give you what the Bible calls a psychological edge." You remember when he said that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
You're better at it than I am with the memorizing these parts here.
And
Go
of
ahead.
course, Burgess Meredith. What a great actor he was.
He played a great role there, yeah.
He sure did. So what I'm leading up to is that I'm kind of wondering, does either team in this game have a psychological edge? I think psychologically they're both reeling a little bit, I would think, after Austin has lost the last two after winning the first two, and Elkins really knows that they let one get away. And it was amazing how dramatic it was as Gunnar Chenier of Clements threw a pick, and the interceptor ran all the way down the near sideline, got to the 2-yard line, and Chenier kind of gave him a forearm shiver and knocked him out of bounds at the 2. It was a great hit by a quarterback, maybe the best hit I've ever seen by a quarterback after he threw an interception.
Yeah.
Now, Elkins still went ahead and scored after that, and they went up 21-0, and without a doubt, they did take their foot off the gas. And when you let one get away like that, you can use all kinds of metaphors. You can say it's very hard to get the toothpaste back into the tube or the air back into the balloon. You ever been a part of a loss like that?
Well, yeah, I think what, the coaches, they're probably to use one word, they could probably say, we got to learn how to finish. We got to learn how to finish. We got to keep the pedal to the metal, so to speak. And when you got somebody down, you got to keep it rolling, and all those things, these cliches that we use. And I'm sure that was part of their mantra this week. Of course, they have a scouting report on Austin, and I'm sure they applied that to their game plan tonight. And it looks like the players are starting to line up for their national anthem, and maybe we should pay our respects as well here.
We will do it during the commercial break. This is VypeFortBend.com. Elkins taking on Austin in just a few minutes away from kickoff. Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick will be back right after this.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately, like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Ever take your hands off the wheel and your auto starts veering left or right? That's your vehicle's way of saying, hey, I'm out of alignment and you're ruining the tires. First Tire and Automotive, 4 convenient locations. Make sure you won't be driving crooked in the carpool lanes. Take advantage of free standard alignment with purchase of 4 tires and 15% on AC Delco batteries. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Back at Mercer Stadium, where we are awaiting the ceremonial coin toss. One of these teams is going to receive the football to start the game. We don't know who it is. The captains for Austin, Jamal Franklin, Daniel Oloso, Aries Stevens. And there's one other in there that, there we go, Hugh Rolls. Looks like they're going to have 4 captains. And over on the Elkins side, I'm not sure exactly who is going out, but I think one of them is Lucre Thomas. And Patrick, I think we should talk Archer Volkswagen keys to the game, and sometimes we'll talk about schemes and parts of the game at which you need to excel to win against a certain opponent. But I think it's really what's going on between the ears of these two teams.
Yeah.
You know, if they fall behind, it's which team shows the kind of character that helps them kind of block out of their mind what has happened in the very recent past so that they can do the job that needs to be done here tonight.
Well, I would say that, I've coached, some over the years too and whatnot. And coaching fundamentals is one thing, and coaching the games and the X's and O's and all that. But there is a psychology, there's a mindset that you want to promote as coaches and coaching staffs. And one of the things that you want to promote is, when you get down, get back up. You can't wallow in the misery. You got to get back up because there's a next play coming. And did you find the other captain, Roger? I see you.
Well, I
to a
see
number.
we've got Fort Elkins, Benjamin Fight, and Jackson Hart. Those are the 2 that I'm sure of, as Don Martinez ceremonially tosses the ceremonial coin. And he's talking to captains from both sides. Maybe his microphone is not working here at Mercer, whereas it was last night at Tully Stadium. And so Austin won the toss, deferred, and Elkins will receive the ball at the south end of the field. And besides Fight and Hart, but they're going to need that tonight. They're going to need Fight, and they're going to need Hart, but they're also going to need the other captain, Corey Nelson, as well as Dexter Jackson. And I believe Dexter Jackson, by the way, was the guy that picked off that pass against Gunnar Chenier of Clements and almost returned it for a pick 6. So not that it really didn't have that much consequence on paper in the game, because as we said a few minutes ago, Elkins went ahead and scored even after he did not get the pick 6.
But it might have did something to their psychology or their psyche, because the quarterback laid the wood to him, and sometimes that energy comes out and it turns into some positive energy. Roger, I would say after the kickoff, you need to do your traditional what the teams are wearing.
Well, I'll do that, but I can do that a couple of plays in. You are the play-by-play man.
I know.
Go for it.
You're the guy who I'll try. I know I can do it, but here's a kickoff coming from the Austin Bulldogs, left to right, and we're underway here at Mercer Stadium. It's received by Jackson of the Elkins Knights. All the way across the field to the 35. He got about a 10-yard return after running 40. That's usually the case. The Austin Bulldogs wearing the red jerseys tonight, black pants, black helmets with the number on one side of the helmet and the Bulldog logo on the other side.
Yes, it's a very good-looking Bulldog logo.
Yeah, it is. It's a white numeral on their jersey as well. Pretty easy to see the numbers, and we like that. 1st and 10, Elkins, first play from scrimmage tonight here. And they're at their own 37-yard line. Here's the snap, left-hander. He's got his man open. That's, let's see, number 4 makes the catch. That's Thomas, and I believe that's Mooring in behind making the start at quarterback. I don't think he started last time we were here. He came in, though, and played a lot of football. That's a first down for the Elkins Knights.
If you like dimensions on a quarterback, Mooring certainly has it. Big, tall kid, strong left arm.
He's got a good arm. He has good spirals. Here's another pass to Thomas, who receives it right about at the line of scrimmage, and he's able to wiggle his way for about 4 yards on that play, close to 5. So Elkins off to a good start here inside Austin territory now at the 48. The wind is blowing as usual from right to left, from south to north in most of these games here. That's the type of wind we have, at least at the beginning of the game. Mooring waiting for the snap. He's going to pass again. Flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right, and he's going to be forced out of bounds for about a 2-yard loss. Good job by the Austin Bulldogs. Nobody to pass to down there. Good coverage by the defenders in red.
Another Archer Volkswagen key to victory for the Austin Bulldogs will be covering Jackson Hart. And he just makes spectacular catches, at least a couple of them every game for Elkins. And so I think maybe what Elkins is doing right here is they keep throwing to Lucrae Thomas to try and set up a pass to Jackson Hart. They may seem to be de-emphasizing him, and they may throw deep to him soon.
Back to pass again. Mooring rolls left, throws back right, and the Austin Bulldogs all over the receiver there. And I'm trying to find out who it is. It's number 16. And that is?
There isn't one.
There's no 16. Remember we had that problem last week?
Yes, I do.
That's not Braylon Day, is it?
Well, I don't think so. But I guess it could be because these are fresh rosters. I mean, these are in the press box.
And it's not on there either, right?
And the ink was still wet when they put them on the counter.
So the Knights come out with a first down, and then a second positive play. Here's a snap on the punt. It's high. The punter very nonchalantly walked up about 3 steps and put off a nice punt down close to the 10. It almost looked like, and the referee goes down on the sideline over there, almost looked like he was going to fake it.
Well, Jackson Hart, he's very versatile, incredibly versatile player, and he is the punter for the Knights, and he's a very good athlete. So he caught the snap, and he just looked up. He didn't see anyone running toward him, so he allowed his punt coverage unit to get way down the field, and there's no penalty in high school or college football for taking off as soon as you want. In the NFL, you kind of have to hold until the ball has actually been punted away.
Yes, and that's pretty good strategy, and there was no rush. He took at least 3 steps, and it was kind of a funny-looking play. Nonetheless, the Bulldogs get the ball on their own 14 to start with. And here's the snap, handoff. Running through the left side, pretty good run for Gibbs. He got about 6 yards on that play, close to 7. Good hole for him as Franklin took the handoff, took the snap, and handed it off to Gibbs. We'll call it 2nd down and 3. We have a whistle. What could it be?
By the way, Patrick, I know it's going to come up during this game. There's a receiver for the Austin Bulldogs, number 18. He is Jack Leach. What's going on here?
Well, they might be an official's timeout.
Okay.
But both teams are going to the sideline, so.
All right. So I guess neither team was charged with a timeout, but I was just going to point out that Jack Leach is a receiver for Austin, and he's got an unusual spelling to his name, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And also, he is no relation to Robin Leach, who used to host Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Okay, now there's something about the scoreboard or something. What?
Well, when they started the drive, there was 9:52 to go in the game.
It could have been
first quarter.
He might have been just alluding to the helmet shuffle up there. Remember the helmet shuffle?
Yes, the helmet shuffle that is apparently either not sponsored or they did a very poor job of putting the sponsor's name up there.
It comes up at the end. I think it
Nevco.
comes in at the beginning.
All right.
2nd down and 3. At any rate, it was an official's timeout for something. We're not sure what it was. Franklin takes the snap. Off to Gibbs up the middle. He's at the 25, close to the 30, 29-yard line, and that's another really nice gain of 8 yards for Gibbs.
And it's a first down.
Yes, and what does that
that
make
means
you think,
that
Roger?
you should think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
So the Bulldogs are able to get an initial first down in their first drive, and they have 3 receivers to the right now and 1 to the left. Franklin waiting in the shotgun. Gibbs is to his left. Quick pass to the flat, and he misconnected with his receiver, Aloso. Daniel Aloso was open, and now we got whistles, and I don't see any yellow flags, so I'm not sure what that's all about. 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. No huddle, and they're getting their formation from the sidelines. Signals, and I don't know how you keep track of all those signals and to make a play call. I'm old-fashioned. I like to just have the play given to me, and let's go for it. Somebody send it to me verbally. Here's Franklin, takes the snap, runs to his left. He's got a little opening. He's got the 35. He's close to the first down, almost to the 40, depending on where they mark it. And I'm trying to see where the toes are of the linesman there, and I think he's got the first down. That was about as simple a play as you could run. He just got the snap and ran to the left. Got good blocking, and he got a first down.
He's got such speed and quickness and great moves that sometimes one of those plays that really has no finesse to it whatsoever will work just fine with Jamal Franklin.
Looks effortless out there. Get that easy glide. Another first down for the Bulldogs. 2 in a row here. Here's a fake handoff to Gibbs. Franklin keeps around the left side again, and he took a shot as he went out of bounds. And the man who gave him the shot was Dexter Jackson. He said, "Good evening, Mr. Franklin. Welcome to the game." And Franklin says, "Well, I'm okay. I just picked up 7 yards. I could take a hit like that." 2nd down and 3 for the Bulldogs as Franklin showing some good footwork. Nice fake, too, because it looked like Gibbs had the ball, and Franklin pulled it out of there and ran left. Took a good hit, but he's up and at him here for a 2nd down and 3. Waiting for that snap. And he bobbles the ball. He bobbles it again. It's on the ground. I think Elkins has it. He just could not hang on to that ball. The man receiving, getting the recovery, Brant Ajiro. Brant Ajiro on the recovery. Well, that was an interesting play because it was not a bad snap. He had the ball. He turned to the right, dropped it, picked it back up, looked like he had it in his hands again, and he dropped it again. And he just couldn't get a handle on it. I don't know.
And every play prior to that on the drive, other than one incomplete pass, was just good, crisp execution and positive yardage. And the Dogs had to feel good about the way things were going. And then all the laughter died in sorrow.
Yeah, it was 2nd and 3 there, and they were in good shape. Well, Elkins gets the first big break of the ball game. Mooring, right side, looking for a man down there. Caught at the 10. What a catch. And there he is, Jackson Hart. You had mentioned him earlier on the punt there, and that was a great catch. He had to go over the ball was kind of over the head or the shoulder of the defender, and Hart just got his hands up there and snatched it out of there. I don't know how he caught it, and then I don't know how he stayed in bounds. He did a little tightrope back. Here's a low snap, but he was able to handle it. Mooring hands it off to Stewart, who plows to the 2. And the Elkins Knights are in business here, possibly for the first points of the ball game.
You know, Coach Brantley and the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show talked about Jackson Hart. I mean, he didn't hesitate. I said, who do you think deserves some praise? And Jackson Hart came out about 0.3 of a second later.
Well, he showed something on that play, but prior to the run we had, here's Stewart again. This time, no gain. There's a host of Austin Bulldogs in there, and I'm trying to read some numbers. But there's about 3 or 4 of them making that tackle together, and it's always easier when you do it as a coordinated group. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 3rd and goal from the 2.
Well, they started this drive 37 yards away from the goal line. They got about 32 yards on the first play. Since then, it's been tough as Austin's defense digs in.
Let's see if they can dig in a little bit more here. Mooring has a man coming in motion across the way, and now there's an early snap or a jump or something. We have a whistle and plenty of flags on the play, and I think it's going to be a false start.
I think it is, and I think Elkins is lucky that it was a false start because as he went by the motion man, Lucre Thomas, the snap hit him in the hip.
Yeah.
And so it would have been a loose ball if not for the whistles, and Austin might have had a chance to jump on it. By the way, you described the Austin uniforms, and I would say they're the 1990s Texas Tech uniforms.
It looks like
the black pants and the red jerseys and the black helmets with red and white trim.
Did not describe the Elkins uniforms yet. They're all white. We'll start off with that. White pants, white jerseys, and now they have a 3rd and goal from, it looks like the 12. It's a timeout, Elkins. They want to talk about it. No score. 6.5 to play, first quarter.
Ever take your hands off the wheel and your auto starts veering left or right? That's your vehicle's way of saying, hey, I'm out of alignment and you're ruining the tires. First Tire and Automotive, 4 convenient locations, make sure you won't be driving crooked in the carpool lanes. Take advantage of free standard alignment with purchase of 4 tires and 15% on AC Delco batteries. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, OfficeMax, and OfficeDepot.com.
We want to thank the folks at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land. They've been taking care of business every day so we can bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. And Patrick, you know this very laptop which we use to deliver these web radio broadcasts, I haven't counted exactly how many that we've done on this Office Depot laptop that they graciously gave to us. I guess it's well over 2 years ago, but it's probably almost 300 broadcasted events, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, there was a missed spot on that penalty. They had it back at the 12, and I didn't even pick up on that. The ball's at the 7 after that 5-yard penalty from the 2, and it's 3rd and goal. Mooring has it, left-hander, into the corner of the end zone. Good adjustment by Hart, and he's caught it into the end zone. What a catch by Hart, and he's going to get a penalty marker for...
Well, somebody's going to get a penalty
after
the play.
It's him because he did the ball spin. He spun the ball on the ground after the catch. You know how they do that? The ball twirls around on the nose of the ball, and he did that. He quickly picked it up because he realized what he had done, but the referee had seen it, and he's going to give him a penalty on that play.
By the way, the Elkins kicker, Ethan White, has not missed a field goal or an extra point attempt during this season thus far.
And by the way, we do not believe in the announcer jinx. Here he is now. White going to be kicking the extra point after the touchdown. Great catch by Hart. Made a good adjustment on that play. Tapped the toe in bounds, and here's the extra point attempt. It's up, and it's still perfect. 7-0 Elkins leads with 6:13 to play here in the first quarter from Mercer.
By the way, Patrick, that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive covered 37 yards in 4 plays. And let's see, it took less than 2 minutes off the clock, 1 minute 53 seconds. We'll be right back at Mercer, 7-0, Elkins on top.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
You know what, Patrick? This first quarter is moving pretty slowly. We're not even halfway through the quarter. And it's not because we've had a whole bunch of scoring. It's just the touchdown that we just saw. But I like that. That means, of course, that we can give our sponsors many opportunities for the listeners to hear their commercials.
There's always a positive on the other side of things. The Elkins Knights will be kicking from their own 25 after that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It wasn't, overly egregious. What's that word?
Egregious.
Egregious. Hart, just in his excitement, did the ball spin on the ground, and as soon as he did it, he quickly tried to get it, and so the referee wouldn't see it, but he did see it.
There's something I want to say about the rule that was applied there.
Here we go.
When I get a chance.
We're going to get Roger's thoughts on that. Here's White's kick with the wind to his back. Good kick. And it's received by Kress at the 15-yard line. He's got the 30 and a good tackle. What a tackle there by number 19, Jones. He was being blocked, and somehow he gets get a hand in there and trip him up at the 33. Before you get to your point, to finish out the Elkins uniforms, all white, no stripes or anything on those pants, and a little stripe on the shoulder pad. Looks like a blue blue and kind of a blue and a gold stripe, I guess, huh? And his helmets are, would you call that gold?
And as
Gold
true
helmets?
loyalists know, it's royal blue and Vegas gold.
Oh, boy. Okay. Here's a handoff. Fake to Gibbs. Franklin's got it. This time he's running to the right. He's going to get a first down all the way to the 43-yard line. He has had some excellent runs so far. And I think we had mentioned a time or two before that Elkins has the UCLA-type look to it, their uniform. So
Yeah,
it's
just,
UCLA versus Texas Tech tonight.
Very much like UCLA, except for the shade of blue is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's not totally the same. Here's Franklin back to pass. Got a man open. He overthrew him just by about a yard. That looked like Fitch down there. I don't know how he got so open. A good move, and he was 5 yards beyond his defender there, and Franklin just overthrew him. Otherwise, it would have probably been 6 points there.
Well, it's one of those go routes, and when the receiver, Christian Fitch, made his out cut, he didn't really put his foot on the gas, so to speak, when he turned it upfield.
Yeah, he forgot to put the afterburner on. Franklin's got the snap, little crisscross cross action in the backfield, fake, and it's a pass to Gibbs to the left, and a great play by number 6, Thompson. Braden Thompson snuffed that one out, and it's a 2-yard loss. It looked
By
like
the way,
go ahead, Roger.
I want to say hi to Braden's dad, Tony Thompson, who was the Elkins Booster Club president for multiple years, and he's a great guy. And Tony, I would like to see you and your wife have yet another child because they keep sending them to the NFL.
Well, 3rd and 12 after that little encouragement from Roger.
Soon as the game's over.
Here's this snap, and it's a quarterback draw. Franklin's got it. He's through the hole, but he's going to be closed up pretty quick. Looked like it was going to be a pretty good play, and then he broke it off to the outside, and a couple of the Elkins defenders were all over him. And who were they, Roger?
By the way, did you see his stiff arm on Demarion Ward? He stiff-armed Demarion Ward, who was lying in the wake of the play, and then he cut back and he ended up falling on him when he was tackled.
They're lined up as if they're going to go for it, but they're at their own 43, and the play clock's at about 12 here. They might be trying to get him to jump. It's 4th and 10. I'd be surprised if they went for it here. Now they're going to call timeout.
Let's take one.
4:06 to play. Elkins in the first quarter. Elkins 7, Austin nothing.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Well, we're back at Mercer, and all you've missed so far from the time we left you was a punt. And the punt, unfortunately for the Bulldogs, went about 14 yards. It was mishandled. Trimble was the punter. He sort of muffed it, and he picked it back up and rolled to his right and just didn't quite get what he needed on that kick. And that allows the Elkins Knights to start off in great field position at their own 44. They lead 7-0, and it's Mooring behind center here in the shotgun. Here's a handoff. Right side goes the runner, and I'm going to see if I can figure out who that was.
28?
It was Conley. Elon Conley was the ball carrier there. He was able to pick up about 3.
I still have something to say when I get a chance
we're gonna get
after
back.
Jackson Hart scored the touchdown
Yep.
and was flagged for spinning the football in celebration of the touchdown.
You got to get your take on that, Roger. 2 receivers to the right, One to the left, Mooring waits. And he's got the same back in the backfield, Elon. He's got a swing pass to the right. He's got a first down. Inside the 45, almost to the 40, goes Conley on a nice little play. What about that spinning of the ball, Roger?
Okay, well, you and I both like to watch vintage NFL films, especially when they mic the players and coaches. And there's this thing of Marv Levy when he was either coaching the Chiefs or the Bills, and he was yelling at an official. And I'm not saying this about this crew, but he said, "Hey, you over-officious jerk." More in a moment.
Here's the pass to the left side, caught by Thomas, but he is swarmed under. Did it look like a fumble there, Roger?
It did look like one, but evidently the whistle had started blowing.
And
if not, it would have been a recovery for Hampton Phillips.
Forward progress was stopped, and as you said, perhaps the whistle. So that's a loss of 2. And Marv Levy, you're over officiating.
Well, it's just the rule. I mean, let the kid spin the football. It's not like he spiked it. And I've seen guys run the last 10 yards with the ball aloft on a pick six or something, and they get flagged for it. I just think the laws, the rules.
Okay, Roger. I'm gonna play devil's advocate again. Okay.
Well, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm saying let them have a little fun.
Okay, I would say. Okay, we won't get too into it, but here's Mooring, back to pass, flush out of the pocket, rolling to his right, downfield he goes. It's caught right at the sideline. And it's caught by Thomas. That was a fine catch as he got a foot down in there just before being knocked out of bounds. And the Elkins receivers are doing a good job on the sidelines getting that foot down. And Mooring continues to impress me with his passing ability. He really has a tight spiral. And they're up to the line again, left with 2 receivers, right with 1. Hand off to Conley again, and he is going to fight his way for about a 2-yard gain. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. So my question is, okay, you say let them have fun. Let them have fun. Well, isn't the game itself fun? I mean, isn't that – you're out here having fun, right? Okay, so that's one. Number 2, you let them spin the ball. And then pretty soon that becomes what everybody does. They spin the ball, okay? Here's the next play. 2nd down and 8. He's got a man open in the end zone, and it is incomplete. He could not quite adjust to it. It was a pretty good pass. And I'm trying to see the receiver. I think it's Jackson, who just got a little twisted around. And sometimes it's hard to get that catch over your shoulder. And maybe it's number 2, a boss. I think it would. No, let's see. Can you tell if that's a 2 or a 3? I think it's a 2.
It's
that
a
was
2.
A boss, yeah. Assad, a boss. A boss, a boss. Not sure exactly if I got that pronunciation right. 3rd and 8 now for the Elkins Knights, sitting right at the 20-yard line of the Bulldogs. Mooring's got it, looks to his right. He's got a man open. It's Hart again. He's got a first down. Right on the sidelines, he made the catch, took a couple of belts, but he's able to hang on to that ball, and it's a first down for the Elkins Knights. They're knocking on the door again. We got a timeout. Let's see, it's going to be the Bulldogs calling timeout. Are we taking one with them, or are we going to continue our conversation?
Let's do the conversation. I was just going to say, I know that across the span of the players and coaches in football as well as the fans, you're not going to get complete agreement on what should be allowed and what shouldn't be.
Right.
From the beginning, ever since the spike was invented, it's been legal in the pros, but never for the colleges and high schools. If you spike it, you get flagged.
Right.
And I think that's good. If you throw the ball into the stands, I think you get fined in the NFL, and it would be a penalty in high school or college. We're not going to agree on everything, and I think if you're trying to really humiliate your opponent with some kind of gesture as you score or collect a turnover, that should be flagged. But simply holding the ball up as you run the last 10 yards into the end zone or spinning the football, I just don't think it calls for a penalty.
You just answered the question to yourself. The reason why they have the rule is so the referee doesn't have to interpret it. They don't have to interpret whether the guy's hot dogging it or in the face of the defender or whatever. So they just say, you can't do it. So they don't have to try to interpret it. Because what he did tonight here wasn't horrible. Here's the first and 10 play for the Elkins Knights. Got a new quarterback. It's Hart. Takes the snap, runs left. 10, 5, touchdown, corner. He's all the way into the end zone. That's Hart, his second touchdown of the night. First one was by the pass. This one took the snap and ran 11 yards, tiptoeing down the sideline and inside the pylon for this touchdown, Elkins Knights.
He has been working out, Patrick. I'm sure of that. And so that is an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive, and it covers 56 yards. It consumed 2 minutes, 43 seconds, and it took 8 plays for the Knights.
Here's White on the extra point. Snap is good. The kick is up, and it is also good. 14-0 Elkins Knights lead late in the first quarter over the Bulldogs.
I was just going to point out that Royale Salmon did everything that he could to prevent White, the kicker for Elkins, from making yet another successful extra point. But it is 14-0. Elkins on top, 1:12 to go in the first quarter.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Here we go.
Here's Knight with the kickoff after the Elkins touchdown. It's a line drive kick that rolls all the way in and out of the end zone as Mason Kress of the Bulldogs just let it roll all the way through. Not much of a return chance there. And here are the Bulldogs again, down by 14. And here's exactly what we talked about before the game, Roger. The Knights are going to have to fight through exactly what they had to fight through last week, what they were not able to do. They got the early lead, and they pulled off the gas a little bit, or it apparently looked that way. And then here are the Bulldogs again, back down by a couple of scores. Or which side's going to have that proper mindset, to move along here.
And if you relax just a little bit, Jamal Franklin can certainly hurt you.
Here's a bunch formation to the right, and Franklin just takes the snap, rolls to his left, and he's going to pick up 3 yards, it looks like, maybe 2. But, Roger, if you I think we agree on this, that the Bulldogs have had a few pretty good plays, and they've gotten a few first downs. And that first series, if you remember, they had, 2 or 3 first downs, and they were 2nd and 3, and there was a fumble, and, that fumble just cost them, and there was no score at the time. So they cannot go away from their game plan. They can move the ball if they just stay with it here. Here's Gibbs. And I say that, and here he's stonewalled at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. And by the way, Hart did not spin the ball on the ground after his second touchdown. Just in case anybody's wondering.
Yes. And we
could put that to bed now.
By the way, I got to say one other thing. Don Martinez and his officiating crew are a great crew, and they're simply following the rules that are in the book.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't something that they did to be over officious. I didn't want to imply that.
Yeah, no, you did not imply that at all. It's 3rd down and 7. Franklin across the middle. It's deflected. Oh, my goodness. Almost a big pick there. And I can't quite see the number 5. That is Stewart. Avion Stewart got his mitts up there. And
what if he had picked it off
he
had run all the way to the 2, and Jamal Franklin clocked him and knocked him out of bounds?
We'd have a repeat
and then
of last
the Knights
week.
Scored right after that.
He had a receiver open, too. He was coming across the middle. And I think it would have been a first down and a pretty big play had Stewart not knocked it down. So we got 30 seconds to play here in the quarter, and it's been all Elkins thus far, 14-0 lead. And the Bulldogs are reeling a bit here. Here's the kick, a very good kick. Trimble gets a hold of that one, lands at the 35 and rolls inside the 30, where Aloso will down it. That was a good punt.
Yeah, that is into the wind, Patrick.
Yeah.
What a fantastic punt.
The man back, I didn't get his number. The guy who was the return man just turned around and let it go. He didn't even try to field it. You were pointing, Roger. Is there something
I was just trying to count to make sure I was right about the distance on the punt. 42 yards with no return, and he didn't get the benefit of a roll. It pretty much stopped about 3 feet from where it landed.
It
I guess
roll
that's a
very
yard.
Far, and that was the opposite of the first punt he had. But the first punt he had the trouble hanging onto it, and he was under duress. Mooring, shotgun, man in motion to the right. Now a whistle. And a timeout, Elkins, with 15 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Wow, that's unusual to take a timeout at this point, but let's take it real quick and be back for the final 15 seconds of quarter number 1.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
It is 1st and 10. Elkins on their own 30 after the 42-yard punt, did you say? And they have that 14-0 lead. Mooring, handoff, left side, and he's what do you call that tackle? A clothesline.
Yeah, it's
like
clothesline. He just kind of, but he didn't hit him in the neck. He kind of grabbed his chest, the front part of his jersey.
That was Elon Conley on that carry, no gain. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Elkins leads 14-0 over Austin Bulldogs.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
Back at Mercer Stadium, where the Knights have that 14-0 lead, and they have the ball on their own 30. 2nd down and 10. Bulldogs looking for a spark here. They off to a rocky start here tonight. Mooring being rushed, and he hits Hart with the pass. He made a nice catch, but it was about a 4-yard loss. And the man making the play is Harrell. How do you say his first name?
It looks like Kaline.
Kaline Harrell.
But just call him Harrell.
Harrell, and they're going to mark it for a 2-yard loss. Looked like it was a little bit further than that. Hart was open, made a nice catch, but the great defensive play by Harrell makes it a 3rd and 12 now for the Knights. Stewart's in the backfield with Mooring as they look to the sideline for all those signals for the next play. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. The left-handed Mooring gets the snap. Up the middle it goes to Stewart. He's fighting for some yardage, and he's going to get all the way to the 35, but he's a solid 5 yards short of the first down. So that's a little victory for the Bulldogs. They can hang their hat on that to get something going here and see if they can couple that with some offensive effectiveness here, as they've kind of stalled the last couple series.
And other than the fact that Jackson Hart is the punter, I don't think there's anything that Elkins would do in the form of a gadget to try and fake this punt, because you're up 14-0. Your defense is playing solidly. Just punt it away and let field position work for you.
It seems like that would be the smart thing, as Casely Hayford is deep. He's going to receive the ball. Well, was he going to receive it? He muffed it, and I think Elkins has it. Elkins has it at the 35, as Casely Hayford was hesitant on whether he should receive that ball or not, and in hindsight, he should have just let it go, because you're going to get the ball. You know?
I agree, because one of the most hazardous things to try to do is when You're receiving a kick that goes high in the air when the wind is at your back, and you think you've got your footwork down, you think you're under it, and then at the last instant you have to lunge for it, and you're just asking for that kind of error.
All right, I'm going to just say this. I've done what I've been a return man before, in the younger days, of course, right? And one of the hardest things to do in sports is to receive a punt when you got guys bearing down on you. That is a hard thing to do because you got to concentrate on the ball, and you also have to concentrate on, okay, where am I going to go when I get this ball? So it's a tough play, and unfortunately for the Bulldogs, that's the second big mistake.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Morning go deep here.
Instead he goes quickly, and it's a great tackle, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, almost a catch and a fumble. But who made that tackle, Roger? Was it number 7?
Let's see. I think it's 8. I think it's Lotana Umizi Izioki.
Okay.
Lotana Umi Izioki.
That was a hit. Right? I believe his Hart. He was going to Hart there.
No, it was 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Thomas. And the ball was just as he got the ball, the defender got him in the midsection area and jarred the ball loose.
Yes, and Umi Izioki is a lot bigger than Thomas.
Here's the run from Mooring now. He just took the snap and ran, and we got a penalty marker at the 41. Could be a hold here. Let's see. It is. You can always kind of tell where the flag is thrown. It kind of gives you a little bit of a clue a lot of times. And there's a hold on Elkins, one of their few mistakes tonight. That might be their first real blunder that I can think of, except for that unsportsmanlike, which is, they'd already scored the touchdown on that.
By the way, right after the muff of that punt, I was thinking the Knights might go long on the first play because of the Tom Landry school of you get a demoralizing takeaway, go deep.
Well, here they are now. 20 yards to go. He's got a man in the left side. It's complete. It's Thomas. He did a little flag route, kind of down and toward the flag sidelines, and it's a 22-yard gain. And once again, Mooring, he has really got a good touch, doesn't he, on his passes?
You really, and you think about the ball was on the right hash mark, and he threw it over there, just was caught about 2 yards away from the sideline. That is a long way to throw a football. It was on a line and perfectly accurate.
And it was in stride. I mean, it was just perfectly timed. I really like Mooring. 1st and 10, handoff Stewart, finding a little bit of room, and he's plowing now. He was kind of stifled there after about a 2-yard gain, but then he plowed his way for another 4 yards or more. Let's see, it's going to be 2nd down and maybe 3.
By the way, Patrick, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but you teach at St. Cecilia Catholic School, and I teach in A-Leaf.
And by the way, I am aware that that's where I teach.
Yes, okay, but
just kidding. Go ahead.
But you may not be aware that in Fort Bend there was no school.
Okay, I'm not aware of that. And
the teachers did have to go and do their usual in-service stuff. However, the kids did not have to go to school.
So these guys are playing after not having been at school today.
That's right. They were probably playing video games all day.
After that good run, we see there was a penalty, and I did not see the indication. Did you see it, Roger?
I did not.
It looks like a 5-yard penalty, unless they marked it from the spot of the foul, which we did. We never saw anything in terms of a signal. I didn't see a flag out there either. Here's a shovel pass to the man in motion. He's got his number 16. We
think that's
Braylon Day, but we're not sure. He lost yardage, though. He got the little shovel pass, and he sprinted out to his left and lost another, looks like 3 yards or so. And the Knights are going backwards, which is good news for the Bulldogs right now. They'll take whatever they can get on the positive side.
That's not a bad play, but they ran it to the short side of the field. He didn't have time to outrun the pursuit.
It's second. It says 17 on the board, but it looks like more like 2nd and 20. Now a whistle. And what do we got here? We're going to find out, or we're going to try to anyway.
What we have is a lot of inactivity, and it's not as much fun as when we have a crisply executed game. And evidently the officials just needed to say something to each other, maybe about the play clock. But here we go.
They might have wanted to know where they were going after the game. Here's Mooring. Back to pass. He's rushed. Steps up. Now he's just going to throw it away. Now that's a pretty good play, too.
Yeah, he shows good judgment.
The rush came heavy from a couple of the Austin Bulldogs. Had Mooring step up, and he had nowhere to go, so he just shot it out of bounds. And now we have more referee or official discussions here.
Well,
we've had quite a few of those tonight, Roger.
That gives me a chance to tell everybody stick around at halftime. We got two great guests, Robert Ford, the radio voice of the Astros, and also Sarah Merrifield, who is a reporter for High School Scoreboard Live, a lovely and very gregarious young lady, and she's wearing a big rock on her finger. I didn't ask her about that, but I'll bet someone has captured her heart.
Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 20. Mooring back to pass, going deep, going to the end zone. He's got a man. It looked like me. Was that Hart down there again?
Yeah, and they double covered him.
Yeah,
good
which was smart. It was pretty good. The pass was a little overthrown, but he was fairly well blanketed. That was 4th down. Or is it 4th down right now?
4th down now.
Yeah, because I'm a little confused because the Austin Bulldogs all ran to the sideline. Let's see. If somebody's confused, I might be, they might be. I don't know.
Send almost.
That was 4th down.
It
was 4th down because.
Okay. Well, no, it's the stick still says 4th.
Well, the Austin offense is out, and
You're
here
right.
comes the Elkins defense.
That's crazy.
Somehow
anyway,
we lost a down in
well,
there
the down
somewhere.
box guy lost something. Okay, so almost after I said that someone had captured Sarah Merrifield's heart, we almost had a touchdown pass to Jackson Hart, but he was well covered, double covered in the end zone.
The timing would have been unbelievable on that. Now, what do we got on the? We got an official
They
huddle.
haven't moved the sticks yet. The Austin offense has gone out there, and now Don Martinez, the referee, points that it is a first down for the Dogs, but they need to set the sticks before
They're
they
not
run
yet.
this
They're
play.
not ready yet.
They're not even close.
No, they still.
They haven't even started moving.
And
Okay.
what are we doing here?
Now we're finally moving the sticks.
There we go. That was a big defensive stand for the Bulldogs. They fumbled the punt. They muffed the punt. Elkins took the ball over right about where it is right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they were able to.
Well, the 33 instead of the 31.
Okay. And here's a handoff. Fake handoff. Franklin's got it. Left side. Looking for the 40. Hit hard and, whoa, thrown to the ground.
Like a wash rag.
By Anna
You want me to help you with that one?
Bogu?
Look at your pronunciation.
Well, I got it. It's Anna Bogu.
Anigbogu. I think you nailed it. Anigbogu. Yeah.
So Samuel not only hit him hard, but he threw him to the ground, but it was a 5-yard gain for the Bulldogs. Here's a little shovel pass. Alasso has it. He's going to get close to the first down. I think he's got the first down.
Yeah, they gave him a good spot there at the 44, and that will move the sticks, and it will be a first down. And
what do you
people
think
should.
about
I think people should think of First Tire and Automotive for all their car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
I think that's a good idea.
They're open Monday through Saturday.
In other words, if you need some work done tomorrow, or you could go tomorrow.
And you could, if you want to just wait for them to finish working on your vehicle, you can listen to the game between Marshall and Port Neches Groves that starts at noon on VypeFortBend.com.
Here's Franklin to the left side. He's got another nice gain, 5-6 yards, all the way to midfield. As I said earlier, the Bulldogs have shown the ability to move the ball. They've just had a few mistakes, namely the initial drive fumble, which cost them some points. But if they can hang in there and keep their wits about them, they can get back in this game. 3 receivers to the right. Franklin waiting for the snap.
He's got a good voice, Patrick.
Yeah, we could hear him all the way up here. Definitely. He's got a runner to his left side. Looks like Bishop. Handoff. He fights his way through the hole, and he's going to maybe pick up 2. He squirted kind of on his knees at the end as if to try to gain a little extra, but his knees were on the ground. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2. Barring loss of yardage, this could be a 4-down territory situation for the Bulldogs.
You know, one of the things the Knights have year after year is a great defensive front in these short yardage situations. They haven't been as good this year.
They got a couple of big guys in the middle right now. Here's Franklin. Got the snap. It's a draw. He doesn't find anything up the middle. He has to go out to the outside, and he's corralled. Number 55 is in there. That's Johnson, Jerry Johnson. He got a little help from, looks like Robert Ramirez, and that was, if anything, maybe a half-yard loss.
One of the great guys the Knights ever had up front was Ross Blacklock, who now plays for the Texans.
That's
Played
a great
his
name.
college ball at TCU.
You say Blacklock?
Ross Blacklock.
It's like I've got you in a lock. You're not going anywhere. Franklin's on the line at the line with his team. He's in the shotgun, and there's a timeout. I think it's going to be Elkins. According to the scoreboard, that's their last timeout of the half. 5.5 to play in the first half. Elkins leads 14-0.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. At Equitable Advisors, they work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA SIPC.
We're back here at Mercer. It's a fourth down situation. Looks like the Bulldogs have reconsidered the the going for it situation as the punter has entered the field. Now they're going to shift, and Franklin is in the shotgun again. What are they going to do here? They take the snap. Franklin rolls left. He's going to get that first down. 45, inside the 45 to the 41. That was easy. Wow, he just took the snap and took off to the left side, and he's able to get that first down. They came to the line of scrimmage. They came to the line of scrimmage looking like they were going to punt. Then they shifted out of it, and they put Franklin back at quarterback, and he ran it for a first down. Good job by the Bulldogs, and that's huge as we get toward the 5-minute mark here of the first half. Bunch formation to the left. One receiver right. Franklin waiting for the snap. Shotgun. Quick pass to the left. Aloloso has it. He's at the 35-30, inside the 25-yard line. That's Daniel Aloso. He looked like he bobbled it and then regathered it and then just bowled his way for another 10, 12 yards. Good play.
By the way, on the previous play, in defense of the Knights, they had to know that when Franklin was out there that they might shift into an offensive formation, but there's just no way to really be ready for the play.
Yeah, here's the bunch formation to the left again. Fake pass, deep. Now he's got Gibbs, 25, 20, to the 15-yard line. He's got close to another first down. They're at the 15, where it's going to be second down and about 1. 4:30 to play here in the first half. The Bulldogs trying to get that donut off the board and get themselves squarely back into the ball game. They mark it at the 14, so it's going to be second down and 1. Bulldogs making some hay here, including a big 4th down and 2 pickup. They seem to got a little energy from picking up that first down on 4th down. Now they got 2 blockers to the left. Kind of a stack, almost a stack, and Franklin's just going to take it. 14, and there's that penalty marker. I think it might be a hold. It's in that area where you see holding, and there it is, the indication, holding Austin, and that is the last thing that they, well, not the last thing, but one of the last things they needed to do at that point. It's short yardage, got a chance to get that first down, and
well, it wasn't as in honor of the late, great Dan Fogelberg, it wasn't part of the plan.
Right.
So you got 2nd and 1, And even if he stopped for no gain there, you're still in good shape at 3rd and 1, but it backs it up, and now it's 2nd and 11.
Yep, 2nd and 11. Tough situation. I'm trying to describe their formation. They've got two slot backs or wing backs side by side. And they roll they started on the left and they ran to the right for a lead block for Franklin, but he's only able to pick up one.
And by the way, the angriest player after that play was Kelvin Brotherton. The defensive end got into the backfield, and he had his arms around Jamal Franklin's legs, but Franklin escaped, and he pushed it forward for a yard before he was driven back by Ashton Payne, and they all fell on Kelvin Brotherton.
Just to add insult to injury, right? 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Aloso to the left. And you got Bishop in the backfield next to quarterback. No, that's Gibbs. Hand off to Gibbs. Right side, he slips, and he probably going to be tackled anyway, as looks like that's Stewart making the tackle. Gibbs got out of there looking like he's going to pick up some yardage, and then he kind of slipped making his cut. But Stewart was there anyway. It's 4th and 10.
Well, coming up will be
going to go for it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Coming up will be the 12th play of the drive, and they really hurt themselves with that holding penalty.
That's a killer. 4th and 10. And they got 3 receivers to the right. Franklin rolls left. He's flushed out of his pocket, and he's running now, and he's tackled, but could there be a face mask, or is it a horse collar?
Well, I think
the flags came in right at the tackle.
I'm going to say it's going to be a late hit because Franklin, I don't know that he meant to slide, but his feet kind of went out from under him, and the seat of his football pants had hit the field turf, and then I think somebody hit him after he did that.
I think you're probably right.
And if you go feet first as a quarterback, when you go down without being hit, you're supposed to leave them alone. If they go head first, you can hit them.
Let's see what they do here. They are going to, it looks like it's going to be the penalty that you had said, something against Elkins, and it could be that late hit. Mike has not been working tonight. Personal foul. We do not know exactly what the person, it was not a face mask. We would have seen that indication. So it's probably what you said, Roger, late hit, and the Bulldogs get a big break. It was 4th and 10. They were short of the first down by about 6-7 yards on the tackle area there, and then the late hit. That'll give them a first down, and they could be, let's see, it's going to be close to the 10-yard line. Could be 1st and goal here.
And it also looks like they're going to step the penalty off from where the play ended. So that tells me it was a dead ball foul that happened after the whistle.
Right on that one. So the question is where they'll mark it. If it's going to be the full 15, or if it's the full 15, that's going to take that ball all the way down to the, I don't know, maybe the 7-yard line. Now what do you got? What do we got here? What's going on here? He motioned that it was Elkins' ball. What is going on? Oh, you know what it is, Roger?
They're going to say that when he was down,
after the play is
the
over,
ball goes over.
Oh, my goodness. We thought it was going to be an automatic first down, which to me, it still seems like it should be. Doesn't it seem like it should be?
It seems like it should be until you think, okay, well, if it's a dead ball foul, that means when the play was over, the possession changes because it was 4th down, and you turn it over on downs.
Okay, let me just say a scenario. What if the quarterback threw the ball? I guess the play's not over when it's a late hit on the quarterback. I'm just trying to think of a scenario that just doesn't.
Well, there are scenarios.
Seem right.
Take, for example, the ball leaves the quarterback's hand.
Yeah.
He's hit. It's roughing the passer.
Right.
Even though the ball is intercepted long after he gets drilled.
Right.
It's not a post-possession foul.
Right.
That will become a continuation of the
play's
offense's drive as an automatic first down.
Yeah. Boy, that's a tough one. I was for sure thinking the Bulldogs were going to get that first down off the play there, and it's just too bad. It's I guess that's the way the rule works. It's 2:13 to play here in the second quarter, and Elkins dodges a bullet. And the Bulldogs are got to be thinking to themselves, here we go again. What do we got to do to get off the schneid here? one thing they got to do is hold Elkins, not letting them get any late points here in this second quarter. Elkins backed up to their own 7. Low snap. Mooring's able to scoop it out of there. Hands it off up the middle to the 10. And it's just a matter of who has the ball. It's Stewart. Stewart was fighting hard to get to the 10.
And if we said Avion Stewart can fly, why would that be very appropriate?
Boy.
Because aviation, ave in Spanish means bird. You know, Avion Stewart basically means you can fly.
The man jumped offside for the Bulldogs, but he's able to get back onside. Here's the handoff to Stewart again. He's got a bigger hole this time. He's still on his feet all the way to the 20. Tripped up at about the 18, and he stumbled to the 20. And a good thing that Tanafum was able to trip him up, because otherwise he might have been still running.
Elkins, according to the scoreboard, doesn't have a timeout, and the clock's at 1:16 to go in the half and still spinning.
I'm sure if they get a big play here, they'd try to go for something, but I think they are very happy to have a 14-point lead right now. They'd be content to have that going into the halftime locker room. Mooring waits for the snap. He's got Stewart with him in the backfield again. They look to the sidelines for some clarification on the play call. It's going to be a handoff again to Stewart. He's got more room, and a penalty marker comes in to that familiar holdings area.
Well, if the play stands, and we're pretty sure it's not going to, it will be a first down at the 31. But while they are probably going to mark off this play, mark off this penalty, I think a good play to run would be hand it off to Avion Stewart deep in the backfield. He runs 4 or 5 yards forward before he gets to the line of scrimmage, turn around, flip it back to Mooring, and then let him throw a bomb to Jackson Hart.
Are you saying a flea flicker?
Little flea flicker.
I'm going to bet against it right now, but it probably would work.
I'm not sure saying it will happen, but I'm thinking it might work.
No, I'm saying I agree with you. I think it would work. At the 10-yard line, they're probably going to maybe let this be the last play of the half. They're taking their time. And it's going to be a handoff to, well, it almost looked like a flea flicker there. I think he faked the handoff, and then he passed it down to the left side, to Lecrae Thomas. I'm surprised about that play.
Thomas and Hart were both over there, but the ball wasn't anywhere near them. Yeah. However, if I were Coach Dennis Brantley and also his offensive coordinator, his son Dean, I'd say throw it out of bounds. Don't throw it where it lands within the sidelines. And they took a knee, and that'll be it.
That'll be for the last play of the half is a knee. They just said they've seen enough of that. Good half for the Elkins Knights. At halftime here from Mercer, it is Elkins 14, Austin nothing, and we've got some good interviews coming up. Roger,
yes,
got some good interviews, and so stay tuned for that.
And we will start with the lovely and talented Robert Ford. Yes, we'll go with Robert Ford first, then Sarah Merrifield, and stick around for the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show on VypeFortBend.com. 14-0 Elkins over Austin, and we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stabenow with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Hey high schoolers, are you interested in a career in sports media? Vype can help. Launched in 2017, our Vipu Ambassador Program is a one-of-a-kind educational scholarship program that offers high school students a chance to gain hands-on experience in the sports media field. Vype also gives students a platform to build their portfolio of creative work under the guidance of Vype's seasoned professionals. From covering games to publishing photos, writing articles, and conducting on-camera interviews, each Vype ambassador receives an immersive experience geared toward their interests, while promoting their own school and preparing them for their future. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out more about Vype today.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Long Meadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Welcome back. This is the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show, and I'm a little nervous because I'm going to be asking questions of someone that makes a living interviewing and describing baseball. He's Robert Ford, the radio play-by-play man for the Astros. And Robert, I'm looking back to when you started, 2013, 2014, kind of lean years. I'm sure you enjoy your job no matter what, but ever since then, the Astros have been contenders. So are you pinching yourself that it's been so good for so long?
Thanks for having me, Roger. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the dream as a broadcaster is to get to the major leagues, and I was fortunate to do that with the Astros, and then obviously you hope that the team's successful, but as a broadcaster you don't have any control over that. But yeah, I've been very fortunate that the Astros have gone on the run that they've gone on. Certainly didn't see it coming back in 2013, my first year, when they lost 111 games. I mean, we knew there was a plan, we knew there was a rebuild, but those don't always work, and sometimes how well does it work? But I mean, a ball club that's gone to the ALCS 5 years in a row, which has only been done 2 other times in baseball history, and I mean, it's just impressive to watch, and I'm really fortunate to have been a part of it in some small way.
I've really enjoyed hearing you and Steve Sparks come together as a duo, and I think you're a very good match set. There are things that you're both funny when you need to be, but of course Sparky has his own personality, and so do you. I'm also amazed you're very precise. I listen closely when I listen to a description I did of a game, and I'll say, oh, I can't believe I said the wrong word there. You don't say it very often. What's your secret?
Well, I do all the time. But I think, one of the nice things about doing baseball, and I think I almost treat it similarly to the way a position player would, where, I mean, yeah, there are times when things didn't come out quite the way you wanted them to, or, you maybe fumbled some words, but it's on to the next play, the next at bat, the next game. And since baseball's every day, that comes really quickly. So, all right, so maybe I didn't say this quite the way I wanted to in the 3rd inning, but I still have, 6 more innings of baseball to broadcast. And so that's always, because, I mean, you can drive yourself nuts, letting it eat away at you when you make a mistake. And a lot of times, as a matter of fact, most of the time, I think, what you may think is a mistake, most people don't even know. Most listeners don't even know, but as a broadcaster, because I think most broadcasters, if they're any good, hold themselves to a higher standard. So, that's what matters to you. But yeah, I think you just try to go on to the next sentence and to describe the next play, and there are always several of them in a baseball game, and again, you have them every day.
What were some of the steps you took in your career? Did you have some of those stories about maybe sleeping in your car to make sure that you could make it to both games that were not too long of a duration apart? Anything like that?
Well, I mean, I worked as a minor league baseball broadcaster for 7 years, and during that time I also did other sports. And I had one winter, my first year, I was the radio broadcaster for the Binghamton Mets, AA affiliate of the New York Mets, for 4 years. My first year there was 2005, and I was a seasonal employee. And so I didn't have anything lined up at the end of the season. So I wound up working as a pizza delivery guy for 2 months, and then I was able to land a couple of gigs one doing college basketball for a Division II school, the College of St. Rose, which is in Albany, New York, about 2 hours from Binghamton. And I also did some high school basketball for a little small station outside of Binghamton. Not that Binghamton, New York's all that big, but the town, Sydney, New York, where I was doing games at, the high school games, was even tinier. And so I wound up that winter doing 75 basketball games because the Division II school, College of St. Rose, played double headers, and their conference was throughout New England. So I would drive to Albany 2 hours away if it was a home game, do both games, the women first and the men's game, and then drive back. If they were playing on the road, they'd be going up to New Hampshire or Vermont or Massachusetts or Connecticut. So then I would get on the bus, go with the team, call both women's and men's games, get back on the bus with them, come back to Albany, get in my car, drive 2 hours back to Binghamton, New York, and then usually I had a high school game the next day, and I did have a couple of instances where I had college basketball in the early afternoon and then a high school playoff game for basketball in the evening, and fortunately didn't have any mishaps, or I was able to get to all my games on time. And but yeah, that you look back on stuff like that and it's like, man, how did I do that? But you're not thinking that. I loved what I was doing. I still do. I love broadcasting, and so I just looked at every opportunity as a chance to get better and a chance to do something that I love.
So you were an overnight success. And by the way, when you mentioned you did the women's game, then the men's game, did you fill the time in between games or throw it back to the studio?
Well, so with College of St. Rose, their broadcasts were internet streaming. So I didn't have to fill between games. I could just be, okay, we'll be back in, because there's about a 30-minute gap between the women's game and the men's game. So all right, we'll be back in 30 minutes for the men's game. Now, when I was in Kansas City before I came to Houston doing pre and post for the Royals flagship station, in the winters I did basketball for Nebraska Omaha, which is now Division I, but they were Division II when I started. And it was the same thing, the men's and women's basketball doubleheaders. Now that was on a station, so what I would do is the women's game would be first. I'd interview the women's basketball coach before the game, and that would be my pregame interview. And then I would do the game. Halftime of the women's game, I'd have the men's coach come on with me and do an interview with him that would preview the men's matchup. So I'd have that interview and then do the second half of the women's game. Between games, I would play the men's coach interview because that would be a preview for the men's game, and I would also interview the women's coach right after the women's game. So I'd have that, and then the women's interview for the post game, I would play that at halftime of the men's game. So I had a whole little system that I had working where I always had content between games and at halftime, but I mean, that's just what you have to do sometimes.
That's why I love this little guy right here. This recording device it's like a studio. And one of my favorite books is an autobiography, Al Michaels' You Can't Make This Up.
Yeah,
I trust that you read that book, and he just said, if you want to be great as a sportscaster, just broadcast as much as you can. I mean, just game after game. The more you do, the better you're going to get, and obviously you did that. A couple of questions I wanted to ask. What did you do when you found out the PA announcer here for the Astros was Bob Ford?
Well, I was excited to meet him, and when I first met Bob, it went exactly as I thought it would go. He actually came into the booth, it was opening day in 2013, and he came into the broadcast booth, and he goes, Bob Ford, and I go, Robert Ford, and we shook hands, and it was pretty funny because Bob told me that he heard from quite a few people who were congratulating him. He's like, I had no idea you wanted to call baseball. And he's like, it's not me, I swear. And every now and then we get mixed up for each other. I'll get an email meant for him or vice versa. We laugh about it now. And Bob's great, a great PA announcer and a really good guy. But yeah, it's pretty funny how we get mixed up every now and again.
And you've always gone by Robert, right? You didn't change it to Robert when you became the Astros guy.
No, yeah, I've always been, it's never been Bob. But yeah, it's always been Robert on air.
All right, one kind of offbeat final question. You always give credit to your producer, Matt Boltz, I believe is his name. And one thing, I don't know if you call this bump music, but when you're coming out of a commercial and resuming the game, the variety of music that we hear is just incredible. I mean, it probably goes from 55-year-old music to something that came out in the last 5 years. Do you have anything to do with the choices? Do you and Sparky ever refer to them?
Not directly. Our studio producers, Josh C. and Joe George, are our studio producers these days. Bob Elliott was studio producer for years for Astros Radio, going back to Gene Elston in the early 80s. And it's always been their choice as to what to play, and they get into it. Bob Elliott used to be a DJ, so he was, and he just loves music, and I think that's true for Josh C. and Joe George, who we have now. And a lot of times we'll mention a song in the inning, like something will come up or whatever. We'll talk about a player's walk-up music, and then we'll come back, and the next bump will be the song we just referenced or a song by an artist we just talked about. And we don't necessarily do that intentionally, but I always joke sometimes. It's like, this is how we find out if the studio producers are paying attention. If we mention a song or an artist, and we hear it the next break.
There's one other thing I want to ask. I hope you don't mind. Sometimes I wonder if broadcasters, you get together and maybe you argue about what's the best expression to use. A few things that you say have kind of affirmed. There's this one guy that told me you should say a pitcher has no record if it's 0-0. And I said, no, he has a record. He just doesn't have any decisions. He's pitched. But he said, no, say no record. So when you say no wins or losses, that makes me feel like I'm doing it right.
Well, and it also, when someone says a pitcher has no ERA, that always cracks me up. And this goes back to my days in high school math class, where it's like, no, they do have an ERA. 0 is the ERA, or the ERA is undefined if they haven't got an out but have given up runs. I always get a kick out of little quirks like that. Another quirk that I have, and it doesn't show up on air because this isn't a spoken thing, but baseball shorthand is if it's a third of an inning or 2/3 of an inning to put 0.1 or 0.2. I hate that. I understand why it's done, but I just hate it personally because to me, I think of it as a decimal, and it's not 1/10 of an inning. It's a third of an inning. So I always write 1/3 or 2/3 whenever I write a fractional inning in my book. But yeah, it's one of those things, RBIs versus RBI for plural, things like that. I think sometimes
RBI?
I say RBIs. But, I mean, both are correct, and it's funny because people will argue with me about it. I'm like, no, both are right. Sometimes two things can be true. But yeah, I never say no record because, yeah, like you said, they do have a record. It's just 0-0.
And I gave this guy an audition reel, and at one point I said the outfielder is on his horse, and he said, how many horses are there in the outfield? So I've heard both you and Sparky say he's on his horse. So again, that feels kind of affirming as well.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those idiomatic expressions, right? I mean, I think most people know you're not literally on a horse, but it just gives you an idea. All right, this guy's really booking it. Because when you hear someone say so-and-so is on his horse, you automatically are thinking, all right, so he must be flying. So I think it's just sometimes certain phrases, certain words just immediately conjure up a visual for the listener, so the listener can immediately, if I say he's on his horse back toward the right field wall, okay, I get it. I can see that.
That's Robert Ford, and thank you so much for spending all this time. And, you're one of the announcers I like to emulate. I might even see if you'd listen to a CD of stuff that I've done, but I'll wait until after the World Series is over. How about that?
Sounds good. Great talking with you.
All right, that's Robert Ford, Astros voice. This is the Next Level Urgent Care, a halftime show, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately, like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the...
Ever take your hands off the wheel and your auto starts veering left or right? That's your vehicle's way of saying, hey, I'm out of alignment and you're ruining the tires. First Tire and Automotive, 4 convenient locations, make sure you won't be driving crooked in the carpool lanes. Take advantage of free standard alignment with purchase of 4 tires and 15% on AC Delco batteries. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
We have another great guest for you here on the Next Level Urgent Care Halftime Show, and it's another one of the stars of High School Scoreboard Live. It's Sarah Merrifield. You talked to us last year. We're glad you sat down with us this year. Welcome into our program. And how are you personally?
Good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And going well. The off season's good, and really excited and looking forward to getting back into football.
You're pretty young. I don't know if you watched Seinfeld. Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
I was not a Seinfeld person, no.
Okay, well, no worries, but they would kind of put little clips of his stand-up routine in the show. And he was talking about detergent because in one of the shows, I think someone at the cleaner shrunk his shirt or something. But he was talking about how they're always working on Tide at the molecular level. They're just figuring out how can we get out more dirt. And I was thinking about High School Scoreboard Live. Can you make the show better? It's just the show that I dreamed about even before there were such things as Bally Sports Southwest. Is there anything we're going to see that is different? Because I'm just thinking, how would I try to improve it if I was in charge?
I mean, we've got a great slate of stuff coming up this fall, and it's really exciting. We're definitely working on tons of original content. You know, we're continuing to improve always, with our live product. And I think that ad last year was a really big, bump for the show, just having that live presence from the field. So yeah, it's going to be, a lot of the same. Obviously, we're covering high school football, which is always fun, but definitely some really cool storylines, some great new guests on the show, and then we're just keeping the same good vibes and good energy on Friday nights.
Now, I know one thing that you're doing is Erin Hardigan is now hosting, and I look at her. She doesn't have any kids of her own yet, but I'm just thinking she's probably kind of the mother hen among the girls who report. And you're all so good, so thorough, and you can tell everybody has that passion for sports. But is she kind of a mother hen?
I don't necessarily know if I'd call her a mother hen. I think she's definitely one, she's one of us. We love her, and she's fantastic at what she does. She definitely takes that hosting role very seriously, and she's been great at it for as long as she's been doing it. I think it's going on 9 years with Greg Tepper at her side. But yeah, we all have a really good rapport with her, and it's really fun to get to talk to her in studio when we do those live hits.
This is Sarah Merrifield of High School Scoreboard Live, and last year, I know that not everyone who was listening last year is listening right now, so tell us about Syracuse and tell us how you are not related to Whit Merrifield of the Kansas City Royals, but you have met him and he's a good guy.
Yeah, Syracuse, I loved going there. I graduated in 2015. It was a little too cold for me, so I decided let's find the hottest state possible, and here we are in Texas. I loved going there. It was a great fit for me. I studied broadcast journalism for my major, and what I took away was that the experience I had out there was great, but I'm really loving what I'm doing, so I'm grateful for the chance to have that education. And I'm not related to Whit Merrifield, although I have met him. That was one of my first things I did when I was on the road. My very first baseball game for the Texas Rangers was in Kansas City, and I said, well, he's here, might as well ask. So I walked into the clubhouse and introduced myself. He remembered me from one of our preseason games, and we had a funny laugh about it because our families, while same last name, totally opposite sides of the country, so we don't think we're related.
Well, we know you were very busy way back in July at the convention in San Antonio, and your schedule is busy now. Thank you very much for being with us, but I'll give you the chance. Is there anything else you want our listeners to know that you didn't get to say in this brief visit?
No, just excited about the football season, and we appreciate the viewership and the support every Friday night. So thank you for tuning into Bally Sports Southwest to support not just us, but of course the great teams of Texas. So we're having fun with it, and hopefully you guys are enjoying watching it.
All right, thank you so much. That's Sarah Merrifield. This is the Next Level Urgent Care Halftime Show. We'll be back.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Ever take your hands off the wheel and your auto starts veering left or right? That's your vehicle's way of saying, hey, I'm out of alignment and you're ruining the tires. First Tire and Automotive, 4 convenient locations, make sure you won't be driving crooked in the carpool lanes. Take advantage of free standard alignment with purchase of 4 tires and 15% on AC Delco batteries. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. And in addition to Robert Ford, the Astros radio announcer, and also Sarah Merrifield of High School Scoreboard Live, we have Bobby Darnell, head coach of the Clements Rangers, whose team is off this week. And, Coach, how has your week of... Sorry about this. Let me do this. Okay, now start and tell us about your week of practice.
Thank you very much, Roger. Really appreciate you having me here. It's been a good week. You know, we try to focus on ourselves a little bit, but we also want to get a little bit of healing time as well. So it's a kind of a good little mix of things that we want to try to get accomplished over a bye week.
I know that you've moved on since last week's game where you had the great rally to defeat Elkins 26-21, but I just don't know that I've seen a game that went quite like that, where you were down 21-0 and came back so strong. And the play prior to Elkins getting that 21-0 lead, your quarterback Gunnar Chenier threw an interception, and Dexter Jackson was running it back for Elkins, and Gunnar just knocked him out with a forearm, not knocked him out, but he really knocked his feet out from under him with a forearm shiver.
Yes, sir.
Elkins scored, but something I think might have been triggered in your team that made him launch that great comeback.
I think you just get fed up. You know, you enough is enough when we know that we've got to put together solid plays and execute, and we just weren't doing that at first. So, you know, to spot them 21 points, that one being the last one, we had to take a stand, and that's what that hit meant, and that's what the rest of the game meant.
And we had really hoped to talk to you about that last with you Friday night, but you and your family went out of town because, you know, you had your open week coming up, and you certainly want to go see your boys. And how are they doing?
So Micah and Marcus are doing a fabulous job, having a great time at the University of Texas. Classes are going well, and they were able to show some initiative and really earn a internship with the creative media team. So all of the hype videos and graphics that they used to produce for us over the last 2 years, they're now getting a chance to enhance those skills and work with all of the teams at the University of Texas. So we're excited about what their initiative was, what their drive, and what their potential really could be, already doing stuff that they enjoy.
Yes, and I certainly enjoyed some of the videos they made when the Rangers basketball team made a deeper run into the playoffs than anybody else in Fort Bend, and that was truly amazing. And they put together some great clips there.
Well, you were the star of many of those.
Oh, I wasn't the star. Abdullah Olajuwon was the star.
Yes, him and Divine definitely had a great tandem going on, but you were the voice of the Rangers, and we really appreciate that always.
Well, let's talk about how this Fort Bend ISD race is shaping up. You know, I think before we started this interview, you were saying that last night's win by George Ranch over Travis is going to make it very interesting, but I think it's pretty wide open. I mean, we're basically coming up to the halfway point. This is week 5, so next week is week 6, and then we'll be in the second half of the season, and not quite the second half of district play, but What do the Rangers have to do to get one of those 4 playoff spots?
Well, the Rangers have 6 seasons left.
Six seasons,
and that's
one-game seasons.
That's it. That's all we are doing, and that's all I have talked about to our guys, and hopefully convinced them that it's just 1-game season. So we have 1 season that's on the schedule coming up, 1 game, 1 season, and then if we're fortunate enough to get that next one, we're gonna try to worry about that one. But it's about just really, truly believing in everything you can do for that 1 game.
We're talking with Clements head coach Bobby Darnell, kind of an impromptu thing. I'm so glad it worked out this way. I asked about Micah and Marcus, but how about your daughter, Maddox?
Maddox is doing well as well. She's about to start fall ball, get ready for her senior year in softball, and doing applications and applying for all the schools that she'd like to go to, and really enjoying a very orderly and quiet household right now.
Well, I'm trying best that I can to listen to what you were saying, but you know who that is talking? That is Mr. Mark Sherman. He's an Austin dad. He is Mr. iHeart Radio Houston.
In November, Fort Bend
he's a power broker in the radio game, so we really love having him as one of our listeners, and he helps promote us a little bit, so that's a wonderful thing for us to have going for us.
Absolutely. I'm trying to lower the microphone so you don't hear him and you can hear you.
Please visit FortBendISD.com.
Well, is there anything else on your mind that you'd like to share? We got about a minute before Patrick Kinnick takes over the play-by-play for the second half of this game.
Not too much. We're going to go spend some time tomorrow as a program at the U of H Rice game, and hopefully expose our kids to some higher level collegiate play, and then get ready to go on Monday.
Maybe you can inspire the Cougars. Things aren't going as well as they had hoped after 3 games.
And Rice is definitely trending upward, so I think tomorrow will be pretty interesting.
My mom was one of the first female students at Rice. She really was. And when she was on campus, there was a rule. Can you believe this? In the 1940s, all women had to be off the campus by 5 p.m. There were female students, but they had to leave campus at 5. That was a hard and fast rule.
That is unbelievable to me. Oh my gosh, we've come a long way, thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm glad that at Abilene Christian, even Abilene Christian, our girls stayed on campus 24 hours, which was nice.
Well, apparently, right before I got to Baylor in '98, they weren't allowed to dance on campus. So,
say that again?
I don't believe we were allowed to dance on campus at Baylor University prior to 1998 or 1997.
Yeah, well, I'm familiar with that kind of stuff because at Abilene Christian, nobody could go to a nightclub, and it's not that if you danced somewhere you were in trouble, but there were never any school-sponsored dances.
That's probably what the rule was, but it's still pretty funny to look at different restrictions like that.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, Bobby Darnell, thank you very much, and glad you spent some time with us at halftime of our Friday night game. And Patrick Kinnick will be back to bring you the play-by-play of Austin and Elkins. In half number 2, the Knights lead it 14-0, and we'll be right back. Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. At Equitable Advisors, they work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA SIPC. All right, we're back and just about ready to start the second half The teams have not taken the field yet. Let me give you some scores here of games that might be of interest to you. Ridgepoint leading Dulles at halftime. I believe they're playing that game in Alvin. Ridgepoint 42, Dulles nothing at the half. And look out for the Foster Falcons. They're leading Friendswood at Friendswood 31-0 at the half. And Fulshire is also crushing people, leading Terry 34-7 at halftime. Over in the Katy district, you got Tompkins 49-14 over Seven Lakes. And I think that might have been last night. Yeah, that was last night. And Katy beat Maid Creek 59-3 last night. We, of course, broadcasted the game where George Ranch beat Travis 24-21. Nederland beat Willow Ridge 38-14. Morton Ranch beat Cinco Ranch 77-63. That blows my mind. And Crosby tonight is leading Kingwood Park 22-17 with less than a minute to go in the half. And there you go, Patrick. Those are all the scores that I think anybody in our audience would care about. And so now you can take over as Elkins kicks off to start the second half.
And Elkins will be kicking off with the wind here. White will kick off. Ethan White. He's liable to kick this one right through the end zone here. Got a little breeze to his back. And we're underway here in the third quarter. It's deep, but it will be fielded at the 2-yard line. To the 20, 25. And that return man is Kress.
Mason Kress. In fact, I want to say major props to his mom, Meredith Kress. She is not the president of the Booster Club, but she's kind of the communications liaison, and I appreciate her letting everybody know when we are having a broadcast, and I'm sure she's in this stadium somewhere. Absolutely. But I don't know what she looks like. We just talk on the phone.
Maybe if you heard her voice, you could recognize by the sound there.
Well, we don't talk that often.
Franklin now ready to get the first play underway here from scrimmage, and there's a whistle. Looks like we got an offensive penalty.
Yeah, I think that Gibbs started a little bit quick.
He had Aloso coming in motion from left to right, and Gibbs might have been guilty of a little flinch. And it's not such a good start here for the Bulldogs on their first play. 1st and 15 now from their own 18-yard line. They already trail 14-0. They need to get something going here. You can't win unless you score some points. They got to get some points on the board. Franklin in the shotgun. He's got Gibbs kind of in a wing position right now. Franklin's going to run. Being chased. Left side. He's going to get to the 15, which means he's going to lose 3 more yards. He had to belly back a little bit to try to get some yardage, some daylight, and he ended up losing, I guess, 2 yards there. It's second down and 18, I guess.
It might be a good time for a bootleg. The ball is on the left hash. Start the flow to the left and let Jamal run over to the right, and he could either pull it down and run or throw it to a receiver. You throw on the move to a moving receiver. That can be a good thing.
Well, let's see if they do that. Second and 18. 3 receivers to the right. Gibbs is now to the left of the quarterback. Fake handoff. He does roll to his right. Looking downfield. Now he's going to run it. And he's only going to get maybe 2 yards.
Well, they ran the exact play I thought they could, but
except for the pass.
Because the coverage in the secondary was so good, he couldn't find anyone to throw to.
Apparently, the Elkins Knights were thinking along the same lines as you. Good coverage. Franklin unable to get to the edge fully, and he's only picking up about 2 on that. It's third down now, and about 16 yards to go. That 5-yard penalty put him in a bad spot to start things off, and they've had a hard time getting out of that little hole. Play clock under 5 now, and they get it off in time. Gibbs is going to take the handoff. Up the middle he goes. He's surrounded at the 21-yard line. It's going to be well short of the first down. In fact, they didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down and 12 yards to go. The punting team coming out of the field. Exactly not what the Bulldogs wanted coming out of the locker room. Obviously, the Elkins Knights That's exactly what they wanted. As Dexter Jackson goes deep, he's sitting at his 44-yard line. He's got a man in front of him about 10 yards or so. That's Thompson. Here's the kick. It's kind of a knuckleballer into Elkins territory, and it rolls forward, then back a little bit. And the Knights are going to have good field position starting at the 48-yard line already with a 14-point lead. 9.5 to play, third quarter. By the way, the bands put together a pretty good performance for us at halftime, and the home Austin Bulldog band, their finale was really good. I know you were interviewing Coach Darnell.
Robert Ford of the Astros and Sarah Merrifield of the High School Scoreboard Live show.
Oh, yes. That
and
was
Bobby Darnell of Clements.
At the very end, you had him here. But that Austin band and dance team did a really good job on that last piece that they did, and got a rousing applause. Here's a shovel pass. Well, it's the guy who's not on our roster, but we think it might be Braylon Day. And he's going to pick up 2 yards as he's flung out of bounds. As Phillips was the man who flung him out. Ball squarely at midfield now with 9 minutes to play, third quarter. The wind, as usual, dying down a little bit here. Just a bit of a breeze, but not as strong as it was earlier on.
By the way, I noticed the flags at the north end of the stadium are at full staff, and I guess that was for the Queen of England last week when they were lowered to half staff.
Well, that's a good assumption there. Here's a handoff, inside handoff, and we've got a penalty marker in that familiar spot again. The handoff was to Conley, who was able to fight for about 4 yards, but I think we're going to have that one called back.
By the way, you say that was a good assumption, but that's the first time in my life that I remember the United States flag being lowered in evidently all over the country for someone who's not an American.
Yeah. Oh, it's not a hold. It's a face mask.
Oh, wow.
I stand corrected on that one. It was in that familiar holding territory, but apparently there was a face mask in there on the run and tackle as Conley was fighting for yardage. So tack on 15 yards, and Elkins Knights are pretty deep in Austin territory right now, 31-yard line.
By the way, these Bulldogs will take on Clements next week. And to be honest, I am not sure if it's on our broadcast schedule or not.
We'll have to wait and find out on that. It's marked at the 32. Knights are in great position to add to their leads. Low snap. Good job by Mooring to pick it up. There's Hart, left side. He's got the reception, and he's inside the 30 to about the 26-yard line, where he picked up, looks like 6 yards. Nice first down play for the Elkins Knights. They'll take that all day long.
By the way, Patrick, here's
an
Archer Volkswagen key to the game. Austin's got to be the next team to score. If they give up a score here, it might be too much for them to overcome.
And a jump offside by Warren. Kendall Warren got his momentum going. He was in the neutral zone. He just couldn't get out of there, and he's slapping his helmet right now, but that's not the first time that's ever happened.
And he's just upset and frustrated. I mean, he so badly wants to make a play to help his team.
Absolutely. Mooring gets the snap, hand off to Conley, and he is attacked at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Good job by the Austin Bulldog line there to snuff any efforts there for yardage by Conley. It'll be second down and 10. Elkins Knights, as the clock winds, it's down to 7.5 here in the third quarter. And Mooring has got his team to the line of scrimmage, and they're taking their time. There's no rush for them. They're already in great position for points. Give them a yard on that last game. Another low snap. Conley has it to the right side. He's inside the 15 as he's fighting all the way to the 14-yard line. Mooring's doing a good job of getting those low snaps, or they're coming at about his feet.
And he's
ideal.
a tall boy,
He
so,
is,
you know, he has to bend way down to make sure he secures the grip on the ball before he can even make a move to hand it off or whatever else the play calls for.
Well, you know, you got to, you know, it's easy to watch it, and you think it's easy. You got to make the catch on that, as you said, Roger, and then you got to be able to hand it off. Well, now there's a whistle, and we have a timeout, or the referees or the officials having another conference here. I don't see any indication as far as who called the timeout.
Okay, since it's not, we're not sure that it's a full timeout, we better keep it right here. And, you know, another thing that's amazing with what Mooring has done when there's been a low snap, he not only gets a quick grip on the ball, when you have to bend down and take your eyes off the defense for even a split second, it makes it so hard to reorient yourself when you stand back up and read the defense and know what to do, but he's been executing so well. He's avoided any kind of major mistake all night. His passes have been on target pretty much.
Yeah, well, here, they're at the line now. Snap, and now a whistle. What is it here? My goodness, let's see. I'm not sure if it was whistled in for play yet. I'm not sure what that. I don't see a penalty marker.
I see one here near
you
the
do?
20.
Okay, so maybe there was a false start on the Elkins Knights. Let's see. Yes, a false start on the Knights. Apparently, not everyone was set. And again, as Roger had indicated, I believe earlier, the microphone is not working, and that's been kind of a hit or miss situation here at Mercer this year. We were very pleased to know to hear the official microphone working in the first game, and then I think the second game it was kind of on and off, and now tonight we have nothing. So we got to go rely on the old-fashioned signals from the referee.
You remember the old program in the middle where the rosters were? They would have a diagram of all the official signals.
Right. It's just in case you needed a refresher. Mooring now has his team set. Now we got a man in motion. It's Hart this time.
Hart jumped, and I was also going to mention on that middle of the high school programs that I saw when I was a kid, you not only had the official signals diagrammed, but you had an ad for Dr. Pepper there at the bottom, and it says, "Get a refreshing Dr. Pepper."
I would be all over that one. I love Dr. Pepper.
By the way, Patrick, this drive started at the 48-yard line of Elkins, and they have kept the ball for almost 3.5 minutes now.
They've been controlling it. Now the clock winds again, but it's 3rd and 13. They're going backwards here a little bit. Mooring has it, being rushed, but he stands in there tall. Hart has it at the 17-yard line, and he's fighting for the first down to the 15. He's going to be at least 2 yards short of the first down, but a nice pass from Mooring. I have a feeling he likes to throw to Hart. What do you think, Roger?
Oh, yeah. Well, who wouldn't?
He's a reliable
just there
receiver.
all the time. And Ethan White's going to kick a field goal.
Yep.
He hasn't missed one all year long.
Okay, again, we're going to claim the no announcing jinx. A 33-yard field goal attempt from White. Now they move up a little bit to the 21-yard line to be a 31-yard kick.
I've never seen a holder crawl that far.
Here's the snap. It's a good snap. Ball down, kick up, and it hits the upright. Oh my goodness! In the words of John Madden, doink.
He doinked it. And by the way, Patrick, if you'll excuse me, I think I need to go get a taco.
I think you need to
go get a
yes.
taco.
I hear Mr. White calling you. Yeah, okay. What I'm saying is your comment before the kick. Are you saying something else?
No, I'm talking about Taco Bell commercials.
Oh, okay.
When
but
the
I'm
ball
talking
bounces
about
off the upright.
I'm talking about saying he had missed all year, and then
I'm not going to take the blame for that.
I'm talking about the announcer jinx.
I'm not taking the blame for that.
Okay. Austin Bulldogs.
He had no idea of what we said up here.
Austin Bulldogs, they're going to start this drive the way they started the last drive with a penalty, and so it's going to be 1st and 15. It's just very difficult. It's difficult enough to get 10 yards, and then you got to try to get the extra 5. It's tough, and
Well,
this just puts you in a bad position.
But just remember this, a possible Archer Volkswagen key to the game is still in the hands of the Austin Bulldogs.
You are correct.
They could still get the first score of this second half.
Here's the handoff to Gibbs. Gibbs got a lot of room to the 20. 25 still running, spinning, and almost a first down. Now that'll get you going. 14-yard pickup as he darted through that hole left side. Good blocking by the line. And Gibbs not finding a whole lot of room all night. That one, he had a lot of daylight there for second down and 1. So they're in business here. Like you said, Roger, if they score the next points, game on. Franklin to Gibbs again. He is stonewalled at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard pickup, but it's going to be third down and short for the Bulldogs, and boy, do they need this first down.
By the way, that was 320-pound Blake Barnes who made that tackle, and he wears number 90, which I think was Ross Blacklock's old number.
Good hands. Here's a handoff. No, it's a straight snap to Gibbs, who runs for the first down. That was a little jeek play there.
Trickeration because Jamal Franklin is turned sideways, looking at the sideline with his hands on his hips. And
As
then
if
they
he's
snap
looking
it straight
for
to his running back.
Right, he's looking for the play call like he's been doing all night. And then meanwhile, they snapped it to Gibbs, who got the first down. It's a bunch formation to the right. Quick pass. Olioso has it. He's trying to get to the 40, not quite to the 40, but it's a pickup of a solid 5 yards. Oloso, I might have mispronounced his name.
Yeah, you gave him one too many vowels.
I was so excited I added a vowel in there. Oloso was able to receive that ball. Let's give him 5 yards on the play. I'd like to see them get him a little more involved. He's a hard guy to bring down.
By the way, the diminutive Demarion Ward picked him up, pulled his leg out from under him.
Well, after I said he's a hard guy to bring down, then he did it that way. 2 receivers on both sides. Gibbs gets the inside handoff, trying to find the edge. He has to cut back. He's not going anywhere after the cutback. Nice job by Stewart to force him to cut it back. He didn't make the tackle, but he forced a move which allowed the extra defenders to swarm him for a 2-yard loss.
Avion Stewart, I believe I can fly. He flew to the ball right there.
There you go, Roger. Third down and 7 from their own 36. Bulldogs have the ball. Fake handoff. Franklin has it. He's not going anywhere. He's going to trip over one of the big linemen there. Let's see, who was that? Number 32? 35. That was Corey Nelson. He just found his way into the backfield. He's laying on the ground, but Franklin had to try to hurdle him, and he couldn't. He was too big.
And I saw some frustration in the body language of Jamal Franklin. It's kind of like having to step over a couple of microwave ovens in the backfield before you can get started.
Yeah.
And he had no chance to get anywhere, and it's 4th and 11.
So the promising little drive there stalls. Here's the kick. Trimble gets it off, and it's going to land at the 37-yard line and then fall forward, and there's a penalty marker. Would it be an illegal block of some sort?
Well, let me tell you what I saw.
What did you see?
And I will admit before I even say this that I'm not sure about the rule on it. Elkins, number 6, Braden Thompson, just hit one of the Austin Bulldogs, Daniel Oloso, coming down to cover the kick. And I don't know that if you're on the return team, I don't think you have to leave the return guys alone. I think you can actually hit them. I don't know that the penalty is I just don't know why that would be illegal for Thompson to make that hit.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out, too. Did he make a fair catch signal or anything?
I didn't see a fair catch signal.
I didn't either.
That would be a good explanation if it was.
I don't know, but it seems like you're allowed to block.
Yeah.
But
if you're not catching the punt, you can hit one of the guys that's coming down there to hit whoever catches the punt.
No, he didn't get him up in the chin strap or anything, did he?
I
didn't
just
see that.
Basic to the chest with maybe the hands, kind of the fist right there.
Familiar.
And the familiar.
Yeah.
You know, the way you used to have to pose for your yearbook picture.
Or the football card.
Yeah.
Right?
like Jim Otto.
So a personal foul, and I'm not sure, they call a personal foul, and then he made another gesture. I don't know what that one was. We need that scoreboard, or that scorecard with the
We need the microphone
the symbols.
to work. It worked last night at Tully Stadium.
Yeah,
it sounded
did.
great.
Yeah, it did. Well, they're marking 15 yards off, but the Bulldog bench were, they were barking, no pun intended, but as if they knew that was an illegal play. Roger and I didn't see it perhaps fully, so it's hard to know, but we're sorry we can't be a little more specific on that. But it's a 15-yard penalty against Elkins, which takes them back to their own 27-yard line.
1:34 to go in the third.
Here's a handoff. Conley, he's trying to get some yardage, but he's stacked up nicely by the middle of that Austin Bulldog front there, and there's going to be no gain. Kind of tough sledding for Conley on the run game. Elon Conley, he's got a lot of girth to his legs and his lower body. Second down, and he gave him about a half a yard, but I'm going to say second 10, maybe 9.5. Here's the snap to Mooring. He's got a receiver to the right. He's open, and he's fighting his way all the way to the first down yardage to the sticks, and I think it's going to be a first down.
And is it Hart or is it Assad Abbas?
I think it's Abbas. That's a good little run. He caught the ball at least 5 yards short of the first down, and he somehow was able to use his good footwork and balance to get that first down, and the clock stopped after they were knocked out of bounds. 47 seconds here in the third quarter. Mooring handed off. Conley's got some room this time, and he's going to pick up about 7 yards. I tell you what, when you give him a little bit of room, he's going to be really tough to bring down. You got to get him early. Second down and 3 as we wind it under the half-minute mark. Will they let the clock run out here in the third quarter? They could go without running a play here, and I see Jake Jackson Hart is signaling, hey, let's let the clock run down here. Maybe he's going to be a coach someday.
He might have what it takes to be a coach.
So they're going to let it wind down. It's the end of the third quarter. No scoring in the third quarter. So the score remains Elkins 14, Austin nothing.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box, all for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Handoff. Stewart's got it for the Knights. And there's another penalty marker. He's close to a first down, but the referee has got a face mask call against the Bulldogs. That's the second time tonight they've gotten a face mask call. I believe that's going to march off 15 more yards, and the Knights, who already have a 14-0 lead, will enter Bulldog territory.
By the way, the microphone attached to the belt of Don Martinez, our referee, it works for about half a second.
So you did.
And we hear a little bit of his voice, and then it instantly kicks off.
I haven't heard any of his voice.
Yeah,
so
I just heard a little syllable or two.
That penalty takes it all the way to the 39-yard line of the Bulldogs. Here's a snap. Mooring. He's got Hart. Has to leap for it. Makes the good catch. Spins, and maybe an extra yard there, but it's a gain of maybe 6. Let's see where they mark it. If the Knights score here, Roger, you had mentioned it a few times here. The Bulldogs needed to be the next team to score. Well, they have not scored yet, and neither have the Knights, but if they put 3 on the board or another touchdown, it's going to be tough for the Bulldogs. Mooring waiting for his snap. He's got Stewart behind him, sort of a pistol look. Here's a handoff to Stewart. Nope, he faked it. Mooring keeps it, and he's running around left side. He took a hit out of bounds. A clear penalty on that one, as that's not a place you want to make a mistake like that, because then you got the whole bench after you if you made a late hit like that. He got a first down. He made the fake handoff, ran around left side, easily got the first down. And Roger, I think he was past that thick white boundary area when he took the hit. So that's,
by the way, something I noticed is that you have some injured Knights players, and all the cheerleaders, they scattered like crows when the play started coming that way.
Yeah. That's another big penalty. It's 30 yards of penalty here in the last couple of plays against the Bulldogs, and you hate to say it, but the wheels might be coming off here.
The roof might be coming off the doghouse.
Yep. Unfortunately, they're going to have something happen here positively for the Bulldogs, because they are in deep, deep trouble right now, down by 14, and the Knights have the ball at the 15-yard line. Well, let's see. Looks like the 15, but the marker shows about the 16, so now there's more delays here. I'm trying to figure out why.
But at least the clock for the Austin Bulldogs' sake is at a standstill. 11:04 to go in the fourth.
Unfortunately for them, it's not going to stay at a standstill. Now, I guess they were thinking maybe they didn't mark it correctly, so they move it up to the 14-yard line. The Bulldogs going to need a big couple of plays here to snuff this one. Here's a Mooring with the ball, hands it off to Stewart. Stewart fighting, and he's going to be dropped for, a no gain. Nice job by the defender. That is Hugh Rolls, the junior defensive back, able to stay on the play and bring Stewart to the ground. He's not an easy guy to bring down.
You don't see too many teenagers named Hugh these days.
No.
The greatest football player named Hugh that I remember was Hugh Green,
out of the
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Out of the University of Pittsburgh, correct?
Yes.
Here's a handoff. Conley's got it. 5. Touchdown, Elkins. That might be, what do they say? We got a penalty marker? What's going on here? Penalty marker. What is it, Roger?
I'll bet it's offside and the touchdown will count.
Yep, you're right, because the Knights are celebrating, and there's a little bit of extracurricular going on inside the end zone there, but the referee has separated anybody who might be involved there. It's 20-0. Elkins Knights have taken the commanding lead now. And White comes to the field for another extra point, trying to make it 21. Conley, he had a huge hole that time for a 14-yard touchdown run. And once he got the head of steam going, he wasn't going to be stopped. And, of course, he was not. White waiting for the placement. It's down. The kick is up, and it is good. And, Roger, it's 21-0 Elkins. What do you got?
We've got an Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive. It covered 73 yards, but as you noted, 30 of those yards came on personal foul penalties by the Bulldogs. It consumed 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It was 8 plays, capped off by a 14-yard run by Connolly, and the Knights are in command 21-0. They were ahead 21-0 last week. I think they have a pretty good chance to hang on to the lead this time. We'll be right back.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families. so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
And the Elkins Knights kick off. Austin Bulldogs take the kickoff to the 36-yard line, 35-yard line. Looked like Kress was the return man. And there's where the Bulldogs will start. Unfortunately for them, they trail 21-0. Elkins Knights had that 21-0 lead last week. The big difference, of course, that was in the first quarter. Now it's 21-0 in the fourth quarter, and as Roger said, it looks pretty good for the Knights tonight. It would be really tough to not be able to hang on to this one. But you never know. Bulldogs aren't going to quit. He's got a man open, downfield, he couldn't quite come up with it. That was Fitch. He had his man beat, and Franklin put it up there nicely for him, and Roger, he kind of looked like he got turned around a little bit awkwardly there.
Well, I can't say for sure. I'd love to have an end zone view of that play,
yeah.
But I think maybe the ball kind of tailed off to his outside shoulder.
Yeah.
It would have been a very difficult catch to make. And by the way, Fitch is the nephew, I believe, of LaQuisha Dickerson. She is the head girls basketball coach at Austin and the girls campus athletic coordinator, also the cheerleader coach.
Second down and 10.
She's
Franklin
busy.
Rolls to his left. He hits Aloso, and he's going to pick up a 3-yard gain. He was kind of a safety valve receiver there, and now Aloso is down. And that's the first time we've seen anybody down on the ground for injury tonight. Maybe he landed on the ball or something, the way he's we've seen a lot of cramps lately. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but man down. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs, and they're attending to Aloso. We're going to take a short break. 21-0 Elkins.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. At Equitable Advisors, they work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stabenow with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Back at Mercer. 3rd down and 7. Franklin, quarterback draw, got the 40. 45, spinning to the 47-yard line. First down, Austin. What does that first down make you think of, Roger?
It makes me think of my good friends at First Tire and Automotive, where you can get the best prices on tires and anything that your vehicle needs to run at its very best. They have 4 Fort Bend County locations, open Monday through Saturday.
Here's the first down play now. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Franklin looks to the left. Little pump fake. Got a man open across the middle, and it's complete. That catch is made by Nehemiah Robinson. That's his first catch of the night, I believe. It'll be 2nd down and about 1 yard to go. Nice play Little pump fake, and then he hit his man slanting across the middle. A couple of the Knights go sprinting off the field. Had they been in a little bit of a hurry, they could have gotten them caught off guard with extra men on the field. Franklin fakes to his left, across the middle, it's deflected, and then the receiver was belted
Well,
hard.
he was belted after the ball was tipped, and that's why it wasn't a call.
Demarion Ward was the guy who got a hand on it, tipped it up in the air, and as you said, Roger, if the ball's tipped, the receiver is fair game for a hit.
And I also said a few minutes ago the diminutive, that is to say short, Demarion Ward.
3rd and 1. Franklin. He's going to look for a pass. Now he's running. He's circling. Throws it away. That was actually a pretty good play on his part to get rid of the ball. Otherwise, he would have had about a 10-yard loss.
Yes, and now he has 4th and less than a yard to go. That was a very, very heady play by Jamal Franklin.
Now, it would be a darn shame if they don't get this first down because it was 2nd and 1, I believe. And they've had a couple of plays here to get the 1 yard, and they have not been able to do it. They have to get this play to have any kind of a chance. Here's that play again where they direct snapped it to Gibbs with Franklin looking to the sidelines as if he's looking for the play, and that did throw him off guard again. Gibbs gets the first down. Clock winds to the 8-minute mark. Bulldogs have to score a touchdown here. They trailed 21-0. Now, if they would snap the ball, they'd have had extra guys on the field for the Knights, but the Knights smartly called timeout. Under 8 to play, 21-0, Knights.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Back here at Mercer, 21-0 Knights. Roger, look like you have something you want to say.
Yes, I do. You said back here at Mercer. Well, that's just what I will be tomorrow for 2 games, Marshall and Port Neches Groves. It's our debut of the Buffs of Marshall in a game that kicks off at 12 noon, so we'll have the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show at 11:40, and then the nightcap is Hightower against Bush kicking off at 6:30, and the Countdown to Kickoff show at 6:10 p.m.
Here's the 1st and 10 play. Franklin going deep, and it's going to be overthrown. He was trying to hit Gibbs as he ran down the right sideline. He overshot him by about 2 yards. I was going to make a comment as we were breaking after that little break, and I was just watching the band, and I'm looking at the band across the way. Most of these bands have a real good time. You know, they really have a good time. They just have some fun out here, regardless if they're winning or losing. Obviously, you want to win, but Franklin back to pass. He steps up in the pocket, being chased. Downfield he goes. It's complete. Robinson's got it. 20, 15, and he's pounded out of bounds at about the 12. Nice job on the catch and run, and I don't know who hit him out there, but what a hit.
Demarion Ward.
What a hit.
Little Demarion Ward like David belting Goliath.
There you go. But Robinson, he'll take that hit after a huge gain all the way to the 12, and the clock continues to run even though he was knocked out of bounds. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure why the clock is running.
I think he went down before he was at the sideline.
You think he was out of bounds or knocked on the ground before the sidelines? Okay, that's probably what it is. Franklin looks to the left, and he had his man open, and he dropped it. That was Leach. I don't know how much he would have got if he'd have caught it, because there was a swarm of white jerseys close by.
And Leach had champagne wishes and caviar dreams in his head.
Oh boy. Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Well, 7 minutes left in a 21-0 game. We got to keep entertaining.
Franklin waits for the snap. 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line of the Elkins Knights. Rolls left. Looking. Now he passes it, and it's almost intercepted. Is it caught? What's going on here? Nope. It was must have been trapped. The defender looked like he might have intercepted it, and then it got through his hands, and Fitch tried to make the catch, and he could not make the catch.
Wouldn't it be great if Austin had a player named Abercrombie? Maybe a quarterback named Abercrombie who could throw it to Fitch.
That'd be quite a system there. It's 3rd and 10 now as the Bulldogs desperately trying to get some points on the board here as we reach the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Franklin takes it on a draw. He's holding his helmet as if he was face masked, and I think there might have been a face mask in there. He's motioning for that. He's short of the first down by a good 8 yards.
By the way, the fact that Jamal is okay tells me that the Dogs are certainly hoping for that call.
Yep, they got it.
Yep. There
They'll
you go.
take the ball inside the 10 and give him a 1st and goal.
It'll be by way of a penalty, but, you know, a first down makes me think of First Tire and Auto. You know, they can do anything you need for your car to keep it running at its very best, plus the very best prices on tires. Think First Tire and Auto. Go to firsttireandauto.com.
And they are open on Saturday, which is tomorrow. 1st and goal, Bulldogs, handoff to Gibbs, and nothing doing there as Stewart read that play. Avion Stewart was in the backfield about the same time the ball was handed off, and he wrapped him around the waist and brought him down for no gain. The Bulldogs need to get this thing in pretty quick here. It's 6:15 to play in the ball game.
That was a Hall & Oates, I can't go for that, no can do stop.
That's exactly right. Fake handoff, Franklin to the end zone. Got a man, touchdown, Bulldogs. Hey, they're on the board. And that catch is made by Kress. Mason Kress had himself deep in the end zone. Great pass from Franklin, and Kress got those feet down, made the catch securely. Touchdown, and there was a flag on the play, but they're waving it off. We're waving the flag in the air, which means it's going to be a touchdown. Not sure what the flags were down there for. What's going on here? They're marking the ball at the 7. Why is this going on here? What is going on? They scored a touchdown.
I don't know.
What is going... Roger, this is crazy. He scored a touchdown. They've marked the ball at the 7.
And it's not like it's some USFL rule where if you go for it from the 7, it's a 2-pointer or something.
Here's the deal. They scored a touchdown, and half the crew thinks it's a touchdown, and half the crew thinks it's a play coming up from the 7. They're waving off a penalty marker, whatever that was. He's going to make an announcement. Of course, we can't hear anything on that, but they do signal the touchdown. So the Austin Bulldogs are officially on the board. It's 21-6. And the kicker, well, let's see. Roger, just say it. Whatever.
Dylan Trimble.
Trimble is kicking off, or he's the kicker. He's been punting tonight. This will be his first extra point attempt. It's blocked. And that's a big play if anything else would happen later on in this game. It's 21-6. Elkins Knights lead. 6 minutes to play in the ball game.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Back at Mercer, the Bulldogs have finally hit the scoreboard with 6 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 21-6. It looks like they're going to need to do an onside kick, and the Knights have all their players within 10 yards of except for one man deep. But they got 10 players between the 50 and the 40 expecting the onside kick. Trimble's going to kick it. Let's see what they do here. They got a man shifting, and he's going to kick it. It's going to be an onside kick, and the big bounce lands perfectly into the belly of Stewart.
Hey,
well, there
Patrick,
he is again. Stewart, big play from him.
Do you remember back in 1972, on the same day as the Immaculate Reception where the Steelers beat the Raiders? That was a day of a big Cowboys comeback at Candlestick Park. They came back on the 49ers and beat them in a divisional playoff game. And Tony Frisch was the Cowboys kicker from Austria. I don't know if he even could speak fluent English by that time, but he had a very unique way of onside kicking. He kicked behind his plant foot. He kind of kicked with his right behind his left, and it worked perfectly.
Here's the handoff. Stewart fights his way through the hole, and he's going to go all the way for a first down. He was contacted after about 3 or 4 yards. He plowed his way through that. He kept his legs churning, and then he was able to pick up 10 yards on a nice run. As the clock winds to 5:40 to play the ball game, Elkins leads 21-6. They're inside Bulldog territory already after that onside kick. Now they look to the sidelines.
The Dogs kind of have to hope for an unforced error here.
Mason Henry, who has been the lead blocker in many of these plays, is in the, I guess it would be the modern day fullback spot.
They ought to give him the ball. Let the kid carry
Now
it.
there's a whistle and a delay of game. Roger, I like the idea. Give the guy a little taste of the football, right?
Well, it's a biblical thing. It might be a proverb, I'm not sure, but thou shalt not muzzle the ox who treadeth out the grain.
Well, if it's not a proverb, Roger, it should be. That is a very wise statement as the aforementioned Henry is in his spot again. Timeout, Austin. That's a really not a good timeout. 5:03 to play, 21-6. Knights lead.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From ow to wow, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Back at Mercer Stadium, Austin had called the timeout. I said it was not a good timeout, but it probably was a good timeout because the Elkins Knights just had a 5-yard penalty. And there goes Stewart up to
I think they gave it to the big guy. I think they gave it to Mason Henry.
Was that Henry? Let's see.
You're right.
I think it was.
It was Avion.
It was Stewart again. But Mason Henry, you talk about a load. He's basically an offensive lineman playing fullback.
Yeah.
And
he's a big fella.
He's been doing a great job tonight. We maybe haven't mentioned him enough. Low snap again. Mooring defeats the pressure, and then he throws it out of bounds.
Well, that helps the Dogs preserve a little time.
Stops the clock. He didn't have anyone over there. He is almost like if there wasn't the play they were looking for, he was just going to get rid of it. And the positive, as Roger said, the positive for the Bulldogs is the clock stopped there with 4:19 to play in the ball game. The Bulldogs have to get the ball back and score quickly and then hope for an onside kick, I think. Meanwhile, the Knights are trying to run the clock here, get this first down, and see if they can run more clock.
That was an incomplete pass.
Right. So the clock did stop after that play, but now if they get a first down, they can keep that clock running. And there goes Conley
fighting his way to about the 39. Now a penalty marker. What do we got here? If that's a defensive penalty, it's going to be the clincher, I think. Could be a hold though. Let's see. The flag came in from the secondary. Holding against the Knights.
Okay.
Do you take this, Roger?
No, you don't. It makes it 4th down and
you got
8, maybe?
Yeah, 4th and 8. You've got to get the ball back. They're looking like they're going to mark it off, though.
Well,
let's see.
Conley has something to say to at least one Bulldog and maybe several Bulldogs. He's speaking his piece.
Well, they didn't mark it off. It looked like they were about to march it off, but he was just placing the ball, and the punting unit comes on for the Knights, and it's our man,
Jackson Hart,
going to be punting it. And the Bulldogs are going to get the ball, but they're going to be a long way away unless they can somehow get a beautiful return here.
Or block the punt.
Here Jackson's letting that clock go as far down as possible. Here's the snap. He looks like he's going to fake it. He really does a good job back there. He's very composed. I'll explain that in a moment, or Roger could explain what just happened.
Well, he has such good vision, and he's a good, agile athlete so that when the rush comes at him, he doesn't panic and fall down or do anything like that. He's able to sidestep the rush and just get the ball, kind of like when you hit a little 7-iron, and just a little bump and run there with the chip.
He was
That's what he does with his punts.
He was almost nonchalant back there, which means he was just calm, but he wasn't panicked at all, like you said, and he got that ball off and got him all the way down to the 13-yard line, so a long, long way away for the Bulldogs. Franklin's going to go across the middle, and he's got his man, but off his fingertips. That is Fitch. A little behind him, I think. Tough chance for Fitch there.
Christian Fitch spells his first name Chrisshun.
You kind of want to say Christian, and then all of a sudden you see at the end of the name it's the H-U-N, so you gotta pause and then restart it. 2nd down and 10 from their 13-yard line. Bulldogs trail by 15. Late in the game. Franklin rolling to his right. He's got room. I thought he was going to run, but he goes outfield. He's got a man open again, and he overshot him. Oh, my goodness, it's Fitch again. Fitch was open, and he overshot him. And again, it's hard to know whether he stopped his route or what, because it looked like he kept running, but he was just a little bit off on the timing or something, but he looked like he got a hand on it. But if he would have completed that, he might have just scored.
I think Fitch would have kept running. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. They let him get behind him. Good job by Franklin to get it to him. And it's 3rd and 10. Franklin waiting for the snap. Play clock down to 5. And here comes the snap. He's going deep again. This one's going to be well overthrown as he's trying to hit Fitch again.
Okay, 4th and 10. Do you go for it? I say you go for it.
You have to, yeah.
Do you want to win or not? But it looks like they're sending out the punting unit.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess you got to go. It's hard to say. I guess if you let them score a field goal even, it's no chance, I guess.
Yeah, but if you don't score next, you got no chance.
You're right. I don't know. I guess maybe they're going to try to kick it out of there and use their timeouts. Try to get the ball back. But there won't be much time left. Here comes the kick. Trimble kicking it away, and it's going to take an excellent roll. Now we got some fisticuffs going on down there. And there's a penalty marker. We'll have to see which player was involved. It could be one of those offsetting things, as Trimble's kick was a pretty good one, actually. It rolled inside the 50.
It's my man there, Patrick. It's the future welterweight champion of the world, Demarion Ward. No relation, I don't think, to Cynthia Ward, the principal of Elkins High School.
Well, it was offsetting penalties there, Roger. It was unsportsmanlike on both sides.
I noticed Don Martinez, the referee, after throwing his flag, then threw his white hat down.
Which I guess that's an indication that there's 2 penalties going on, right?
At least.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't see exactly what started the little tussle. We saw the tussle as it was happening.
By the way, I'm sorry,
No, I'm ready to hear what you got to say.
Okay, Patrick, with 3:01 to go in this game, anyone who is still listening live, I want to tell them something. I love you. You are so loyal to still be listening at this point when it looks like the cause is lost for the Austin Bulldogs, and Elkins kind of pretty much has the victory salted away. And we just appreciate your support. And be with us tomorrow. We have 2 games. The noon game, Marshall against Port Neches Groves, and the 6:30 game, Hightower and Bush.
Low snap again. Mooring has it. Fake handoff. He's going to run to his left, and he's going to slide down. He's okay with the 2-yard loss. He's trying to stay in bounds, force the Bulldogs to use timeouts, which they do right here. They only have 1 left. We taking a short break, Roger? A break. 21-6, Elkins over Austin.
Ever take your hands off the wheel and your auto starts veering left or right? That's your vehicle's way of saying, hey, I'm out of alignment and you're ruining the tires. First Tire and Automotive, 4 convenient locations, make sure you won't be driving crooked in the carpool lanes. Take advantage of free standard alignment with purchase of 4 tires and 15% on AC Delco batteries. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Mercer Stadium, 2:54 to play. The Knights lead the Bulldogs 21-6, 2nd down and 13. Conley, left side, he's going to get to the line of scrimmage, and then he comes out of there with a gain of 6 yards. And there's a big, what have we got, about 18 players in that pile up there. And
somewhere between 18 and 22 players.
Yeah. And a timeout for the Bulldogs. That'll be their last one. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
By the way, did you see that older gentleman who came past our table a couple of times? He was using a cane.
Yes.
When you were inside grabbing me a sandwich while I was interviewing our guests, he walks by and he says, "Nice job, Cosell." And I don't know whether to feel good about that or not so good.
Well, I think, you got to just take that with hopefully it's just a little jag, right? I mean,
I said, this man is brilliant.
Well,
Walla Payton.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson.
Sweetness. No, he would say Orenthal. What was his name?
Orenthal James Simpson.
Yeah, he'd call him by his full name.
By the way.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes. Old Howard.
Howard Cosell.
By the way, Billy Crystal did a great Howard imitation, and he would actually do it in front of Howard.
Yeah.
Cracked him up.
3rd and 6 for the Knights. Handoff, fake handoff. Mooring has it down the field. He goes. He had a man open. That was Stewart. That would have been the final nail in the coffin there, but he dropped it.
It's the cheerleaders. He said, I want to make a great catch in front of the cheerleaders and talk to them as I run to the end zone. He was thinking ahead, and he dropped it.
Yeah, they had him fooled, and he might have scored a touchdown on that had he caught it.
Well, 2:30 to go, and now the Knights need to punt.
And the clock stopped.
It doesn't seem like a pass was the best play to call there.
Well, because if you run and don't get the first down, you're going to run off how many seconds, right?
Yeah,
it's going to be under 2 minutes for sure. But now they leave little bit of time on the clock. Bulldogs still have to score twice.
Wait a minute. I think we might have a too many men on the field situation because the back judge here has thrown a flag. I think he was counting players.
Was it that, or was it the play clock?
Well, you may be right. I may be crazy.
Yeah. Are you suggesting a Billy Joel song?
Yes, I am.
Here comes
That's
the
in my
kick.
karaoke wheelhouse.
Jackson Hart's going to kick it. Is he going to do a little dance before he does? Nope, this time he gets it off better, with a little quicker. Pretty good kick. Muffed punt. And he was able to get on it. Boy, oh boy. That punt was received there by Phillips, but he muffed it.
What would have been something to help the Dogs there if it had been a low snap? But I think that Jackson Hart is too smart to go down to a knee to pick up the ball, in which case it would be down right there where he went down to a knee. I think he's too smart to do that.
I said Phillips on that. It was Casely Hayford who was the man who received that punt, and he was able to get on his own muff, which was...
Well, you're better than me because I thought it was Hampton Phillips,
well,
too.
As he ran off the field, I kept watching the guy who was the guy receiving it, and I wanted to make sure I had the number right. Well, they had the ball again, 2:18. Franklin's going to run it, and he's not going to get very far on a great tackle.
Demarion Ward. I like that guy.
He's been all over the place here in the second half.
If I was ever in a fight, I would want him on my side.
He really clipped him right down, took the legs right out from under him. And now why is the clock stopped? 2:05 to play.
It's because I think Jamal is down. I think he came down awkwardly on his rear end or lower back because he got his feet kind of cut out from under him.
I did not see him on the. He's actually right on the sideline. And yeah, I guess he landed awkwardly, I guess, after that play. I didn't even see that he was down. 2:05 to play, and now they're tending to the quarterback.
Yeah, and they've got
Jamal Franklin.
David Bishop warming up. He's a sophomore running back and linebacker, but since he's throwing a few passes and taking a few snaps out there, I think that very likely he's going to be the guy to take the rest of the snaps tonight.
They have another quarterback listed, Kyle Chapman, another sophomore. But
by the way, I texted Meredith Kress when her son Mason made the touchdown catch, and that's his first high school touchdown for Mason Kress. Good for him.
Sophomore.
Just a sophomore.
He is going to have a few more, I think. He's a good-looking ball player. And Franklin, let's see. He's still on the sideline, and let's see. Did they bring out, you had mentioned, was it Bishop? And that's who it is.
Yeah.
David Bishop. He's going to be back there with, I think, Gibbs. Let's see what they do here. 2 minutes to play here in the ball game, trailing by 15. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it, and run to his left and pick up maybe 2 yards. Pretty good defense by the Knights, aware of that possible play. And one of the players down there was Brotherton. And then I guess number 52 was down in there too.
Franklin's back in there, I believe.
I believe he is back in there. One play off. Hand off Gibbs. He's working his way and weaving, trying to get a first down. He's going to be short by about 3 yards. And it's going to be 4th down and about 3 yards to go.
The family of Mason Kress is going to want to listen to the podcast of this ball game on VypeFortBend.com to hear the thrilling call by Patrick Kinnick of Mason's first touchdown.
Here's Franklin. He's going to run it, try to get that first down. He's got the first down to about the 36-yard line, 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. The negative news for them is they trail by 15, and more negative news, they only have 54 seconds to play. And they don't have any more timeouts left. Daunting task. Franklin brings them to the line. They're 65 yards away. They have to score quick if they want any chance at all. Here's a fake handoff. Franklin, slant pass, complete. Kress has got it, and he's got a first down for the Bulldogs as they get to the line quick. Now a whistle. There's been a lot of stray whistles tonight that just unexplainable. Got the penalty marker down way down there by the 30-yard line of the Elkins Knights, and they're pointing toward the sideline. Was there a sideline violation? I think there's a sideline violation.
At this point, do you need to call a sideline violation?
Well, Roger, if they score on this next play, they have a chance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they score with if there's 25 seconds remaining, they got a chance. But I mean, that's a 15-yard penalty. It marches it down to the 38-yard line.
And they don't even have to go for 2.
No.
They would want to kick it and get within 21-13. It's a one-score game, and then onside kick it.
Now, this is all would be an unbelievable finish if it had happened, but it's in the realm of possibility here. 45 seconds to play. The Bulldogs are in Knights territory. Clock's running now. They better get this thing off. Franklin puts Gibbs in motion. And the ball's not knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I couldn't tell who knocked it down. Was it big number 99?
Well, 55 is acting like he did it, but
they're slapping.
That's Jerry Johnson. I don't know if he can get up that high.
They're slapping Ashton Payne's hands and giving him a little attaboy type thing. So he might have been the guy who got it. 33 seconds to play. They're going to have to score within the next play or two to have a chance. Fake handoff. There's Kress again. He had it go off his hand. They're throwing that little slant pass. And he was open, and he had it on his fingertips, but it came off the fingertips. He might have heard a couple of footsteps in there.
Hey, we had a kid wave at us.
3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
For some reason, these kids don't wave back at us until now. I feel great about that.
There you go. 3rd and 10, 29 seconds to play. Franklin back to pass, steps up in the pocket, eludes a rush. Now he throws it to Kress. First down, down the sideline, 20-yard line, push out of bounds with 20 seconds to play.
Hey, you might be on the brink of something that would never be forgotten.
Yeah, they have to, but they have to score here with at least 15 seconds left because
like this play.
Yeah, because you got to get the onside kick and you got to have time for at least one more play. So
there's no quit in these Bulldogs.
No, of course not. They got to. I would go to the end zone here. You got to go to the end zone. Here's 5 receivers in the pattern. He steps up into the pocket. Franklin looking. He's got a man going to the end zone. If he's actually threw it short of the end zone, he would have had to catch it in stride and run to the end zone, but he overshot him. That looks like Robinson. Couldn't quite come up with it. Well, we're down to 12.7 seconds to play.
Well, I will say this. Jamal Franklin has been playing a lot of football, but he hasn't been a quarterback really full-time until this year.
He's done
That's the kind of play that he would probably make if he had been playing quarterback for a couple of seasons.
He's still doing a pretty good job. Here's his pass attempt toward the end zone, and if he would have got a little more mustard on that, he had a touchdown. He underthrew the receiver, Fitch, and now it's pretty much over. Even if they score here, there's not going to be any chance. 6 seconds to play, 3rd and 10. And as you said, they're not going to quit, but their chances have, well, not that they have much of a chance anyway, but it's diminished even more now.
This almost. Do you ever watch Sports Center when they have the Scott Van Pelt's Bad Beats segment?
I have not really done that.
Okay, well, never mind then.
5 receivers spread out. Franklin looking. It's going to be the last play, I think. It will be the last play. He's going to the end zone. It's going to be intercept. Well, knocked down. Knocked down by Anna Bogu, and that'll be the last play of the game. Congratulations to the Elkins Knights. They came back after their devastating loss last week, hung on and got a good victory. 21-6 the final score here from Mercer Stadium. And tough chance for the Bulldogs, but they hung in there. And
wow, we're getting a lot of fist bumps.
Yeah, we're getting
here.
some fist bumps from the Clemens people,
yes,
I believe.
The Clemens staff and Bobby
So anyway,
Darnell.
Roger's going to be with you double time tomorrow. I'm saying good night from Mercer, and Roger will wrap it up with any final words he has to say. 21-6, the Knights come out on top.
All right, so thank you, Patrick, and you did a good job tonight. And in view of the fact that it is going to be a very demanding day for me tomorrow, I think the thing I need to do is get home and go to sleep as quickly as I possibly can. Congratulations to the Elkins Knights, who bounced back nicely after losing to Clements last week, 26-21. And the Elkins Knights are certainly in the running for a playoff spot, but I wish I could say the same for the Bulldogs. At 0-3, it's going to be a very, very tall order for them. So for Patrick Kinnick, Skylar Gillespie, Suna Venkat, Merle Bertrand, Bob McKay, and the rest of the VypeFortBend.com team, we bid you a very fond and heartfelt good night from Mercer, where our final was Elkins 21 and Austin 6. I will talk to you at 11:40 a.m. tomorrow from right here at Mercer as Marshall takes on Port Neches Groves. There should be a lot of fans here because Port Neches Groves is a one high school community. They follow their Indians wherever they go. And, of course, this will be our first look at Marshall during this 2022 football season. Good night, everybody, and we will talk to you tomorrow morning at 11:40.